calling bitches though. He calling bitches. You wouldn't do that.
Yeah,
No, I wouldn't do that. But I'm just saying, don't run from the conversation.
I hit Tay up. Let's see how
You
when
see,
when
your
she
whole
responds.
state lost the CIAA fucking around. Remember?
That's because they didn't want to give up no money.
How long you want to wait for Tay? Him.
How's it doing in Baltimore?
Trash.
Just like Baltimore.
Wow.
Hey, P, ain't you close to Baltimore now, ain't it?
Close to county, not city.
Do you ever go out there ever?
Yeah, to see like the hood rats and stuff. Yeah, risk my life.
You go sightseeing?
A liar.
Absolutely.
Damn.
It's a bar I go
Like
to
that.
every other Friday, and they always shoot. Always shoot.
Really?
I love it.
They got low again. I did the same thing last night. So just now, I could barely hear the sound effect. They got low again, like it did last night. Do it again. That's good. Okay. All right.
That's good. How about this?
Wow. Put him.
Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that.
Good.
Perfect.
Damn. Okay. What's good? You here, DJ Hampton Stand Pee Wee in the building. This might be Risky episode 94, I think. Damn.
Wow.
You know what I mean? We working. Love, what up?
I'm happy to be here. Happy Wednesday. Let's get it.
Are you inebriated?
You can tell. No,
Look a
I'm
little-
not. I'm
look a little
sober.
dusty. Okay. Mary, what toy box you stole them glasses from? I don't like how y'all trying to get on my man Adrian.
I don't have my contacts in, so let me be great. Okay.
Those are yours?
Yes.
Put him in the fucking bedroom. Get him out of here. Come on.
Jesus Christ. Q was popping.
Ain't shit. As you can see, I'm on my Mary J. Blige, no more drama shit. Scarf and everything.
Yeah, why you got the scarf?
Yeah, you remember the video and shit? She was all wrapped up and bundled.
Yeah, but it was January. Why you got the scarf?
Chill, him. Mind your business. It's January in my house. How about that?
Put him in the.
That's why you can't give niggas no money. They got the AC on 60 because they ain't worried about the cost. Jesus Christ, man. Mr. White, what's popping, man? We missed you last week.
Yo, the GOAT back, man. You know what I'm saying? The GOAT is back.
Now, did you call yourself the GOAT or were you called the GOAT by others?
Both. Some areas others call me, and the ones they don't, I call myself. You know what I'm saying? So it's a good balance.
Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that.
Man, oh man. Isha, are y'all related today or TBD?
He kicked me out of the family.
Is that right? When?
Yeah.
Today.
Isha was acting up, man. Good grief.
We held it
Miss
down
Nick-
last night on the POV.
Love, can I finish the intros? Miss Nay was popping.
What's up? My mic sound better today. I was
Everything, man. God bless, man. What's up with the earrings? Tell us about them.
You say black girl? What is it? Black girls rock? Yeah, black girls rock.
Oh, you recycling now. I need some new ones. I seen them already.
I know. I was gonna have.
Put him in the fucking bedroom. Get him out of here.
I'm gonna
I
hear
got
about
y'all
the old
next
shit. Yeah, whatever. Alex,
Hey, y'all.
what's shaking? What's up with you and Brown? Brown wall, brown chair. Why?
It's not a brown wall, I promise.
How old is
It's
the
not.
house?
The house is like from the 60s.
Bruh.
Got a lot of history to it, okay?
You call it history. We call it something else.
Whatever.
East was good.
You know me, my fat ass back again.
What else that East?
Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that.
What else that East?
Oh man. Damn, East. That's funny. That's an inside joke, but if you know, you know, right? P, what up, man? Welcome back. Where you been?
It's been a while.
It's been a long time, bro. Where you been at?
Living like dodging bullets, you know.
Indeed. Did you tell everybody about how you cried when I told you I was leaving DC?
Do you want me to show the video when you cried in your house?
Get the fuck out of here, bro.
Put him in the fucking bedroom. Get him out of here.
All right, mute, nigga. Mute. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend. Hit that like button right now. If you can't, that helps the channel the most. Am I back? Can you hear me?
Yep.
Word. Y'all see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, cool. So I feel like this video went viral after viral. Everybody reviewed it. I don't really be in a rush to review it as soon as it gets hot. I like to let shit marinate so I can see like the different perspectives and get more intel and things of that nature. But I think this was kind of beat to death, but nevertheless, we're gonna do our best. All right, let me play. Have y'all seen this video?
No.
No.
Word?
Yeah,
No.
nah.
No.
Damn. Anybody seen it? I thought I was just redundant with this shit. All right. Well, so all right, let me give you some background then. I think this person's name is like the Boom or something like that. So she responded to Jess Hilarious's video. Did y'all see Jess Hilarious's take? At least?
Yes.
Oof. All right, thank God, man. Motherfucker showing y'all age. So this is kind of her response to Jess Hilarious's video. All right.
Hey, I'm gonna just keep it a buck. A lot of cisgender women are just unhappy. Let's use the term that they love. A lot of real women are really unhappy. A lot of real women are really unhappy. A lot of real women are really insecure. And a lot of real women are really bothered that trans women really look better than they really do. Since they really want this real word, you can have it. Girl, you can have it. Girl, it's not my fault that you mistaken my happiness and my femininity as a challenge. Sweetie, when I was identifying how feminine I was and how far I wanted to go and how I wanted my inside to match my outside had nothing to do with you. Okay? Because it seems like y'all only have so much to say when it comes to a competition. It really seems like y'all only have so much to say when it comes to tearing somebody else down. Girl, don't nobody want to be you. Girl, don't nobody want to be you. Let's be clear, Miss Thing. A lot of you don't want to be you. Bitch, I speak very frequently and openly about my penis, about the type of sex I have, about the type of men that I'm attracted to. Girl, don't nobody want to be you. Y'all are just mad that people are really out here moving and happy, and y'all are really mad that people are being mistaken for you and getting more respect than you do. That has nothing to do with us. That is not a reason why you should be disrespecting us and trying to make it a big thing. Girl, don't nobody want no period. Don't nobody want no kids, because a lot of you hoes don't want no kids. A lot of y'all only have any kids to keep a man around.
Let me play one more clip, kind of on the other side of the table. Y'all see this?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I saw her. I like her.
Mm-hmm.
While everyone is in an uproar about who can bleed and who can't, men have become so obsessed with women that they want to turn into one. And I find it quite flattering that womanhood seems so great to you guys. Y'all know me. You may not like what I got to say, but I'm going to say it anyways. In recent conversation, there's been a lot of uproar between trans women and real women. In my opinion, I think the most misogynistic thing that a man can do is reject his biology as a man and go into women-dominated spaces telling other women how he's a better woman than them because it's based off of his feelings of how he perceives a woman to be, while walking in society emulating what he believes a woman looks like by replicating other women. When we're discussing womanhood, I cannot go to another woman and ask her what it feels like to be a woman, because being a woman is not a feeling. However, while everyone is in an uproar about who can bleed and who can't, men have become so...
Okay. See, I saw this. Some of y'all saw this video, or just you, A?
I saw it.
This is my first time seeing that video.
I saw that too.
Say it one more time for me, Adrian.
What you say?
What did you say? Sorry, I wasn't looking at
that.
You were saying something.
This is my first time seeing that video as well.
Okay, so this is your first time kind of seeing both of these videos. Okay, so what's you guys' take on both the first and the second video? I know it might have been kind of a lot of information, but I feel like you guys are intelligent and you get the gist. So let's talk about the first one. What you think? Our quote, and she was using it quotes. I felt like it was facetious. But are real women hurt? Are real women jealous?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Now, it's a quick answer. But if you assess all these situations, if you assess the video Q sent to us, that shit was confusing as hell. Matter of fact, I'm gonna play that one too.
Play that one. I didn't watch that one that Q sent. I'm sorry. I didn't watch that one in the chat.
Q is a legend. You got first dibs to it. You should click on it. Shout out to Q.
Yeah, Q is a legend though. I appreciate it.
Busy enough.
Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that.
But I will address the first video.
All right, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Hello.
So my initial response to the first video is that person actually sounded more angry, right? I'm not really sure how they feel that we're miserable and angry and jealous of them when the parts that you paid for, we got. Not only that, typically a man is not going to show you off. They would show me off before they showed you off because you sound like a man. And so they're going to keep you in the closet a lot more readily than they would a cisgender woman, or, you know, I'm going to use the correct terms as they are using. So I don't believe, I know for a fact, I'm not jealous of a transgender woman at all, because I know who I am and what my identity is. And again, I just feel like they're kept in the closet more, and they have a lot more violence towards them and against them when they're found out and exposed for who they really are. So a man will deny them a lot more readily and, you know, do violence upon them a lot more readily if their boys found out that they still have a penis. So we are not the miserable ones and or jealous of them. And the figure behind that video that person had tells me that you really have some underlying jealousy and issues against the naturally born women that you have to work out.
So when you say violence, are you saying like if they tricked a man? Because, you know, I mean, women are hurt at the hands of men overwhelmingly more than another woman. There are several, 80% of us are born without fathers and out of wedlock. So where are you getting this? You guys are getting treated so much better. Because if you're saying if they tricked the man, that's a different thing.
That's what I'm talking about, Hamp, because they're not going to come out and sit there and say off the rip, I have a penis, because they feel that they are women.
Is that what you said?
So I'm breaking it down because you asked me a question and saying about the violence piece. They will get violence put upon them a lot quicker if it gets found out that they have a penis because they weren't forthcoming in the beginning.
But that's a moot argument because you guys don't have a dick to surprise a man with.
That's not what I'm. Ham, are you listening to my argument or my statement?
Yeah, I'm trying to understand it because you're saying
I said they have a lot more violence against them than we do against us, because I don't have to sit there and come out and say I have all my natural parts. We just start talking to a dude. Mm-hmm. If they start talking to a dude and now sit there and reveal that they don't have a uterus or ovaries and they have a penis instead because they want the man to fall in love with them, violence will beget them.
All right, because you said show them off. So that's a different thing than you saying violence. So you said a man would keep them in the closet.
Correct.
More likely than they would keep you in the closet.
Correct.
And they wouldn't show them off.
Correct. Because that person sounds like a dude. They'll have a lot. Their man will have a lot more questions than they would for me. That person sounds like a man.
Go ahead, P.
And
So
I'm talking, I guess.
the baseline of that argument is assuming that a transgender person is concealing who they really are. So that's one thing that we have to address. Not everybody hides who they are. A lot of guys, if you look at Pornhub and what's hot, a lot of guys actually like transsexual porn. They look like women everywhere else, but they got a dick. So outside of that, I don't think that it has anything to do with a person. I don't think every transgender person is hiding who they are. So we can't say that. I also feel like there are men who just hate women. I don't think trans women hate women. I think the whole how this whole argument started is because the way that the message was broadcast, like the second woman sounds angry. A lot of what she says sounds
More
like
than the first one you're saying?
Yeah, because the first one I think was in response to Just Hilarious. They both sound like they're responding to somebody else, which is where I'm getting their emotional responses from, right? I don't think overall you can yet let any one of these two people be the representative for the whole group or for the majority. Because just like there's transgender women who don't hide who they are, I've watched the news broadcast where a transgender woman is saying she had a period. Mama ain't getting no damn period. She ain't got no, she got no parts, right? I believe like stuff like that it's the minority, but that's what we get. That's what's thrown in when there's an argument against trans people.
So
it's always the delusional stuff.
So do you believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I thought I heard you say more often than not, trans women are very forthcoming that they are trans?
More often than not. It might not be, well, again, and it depends. I believe there's a group that's like a dating app for them. Like that's FTN, that's what do they do. I think there's another group that may not disclose up front, but at some point you gotta disclose, because when it's time to get down in the bed, like something's not up. Even if they have had their bottom surgery, I think it's called. That's when, inside out. So if they have that, you still at some point have to explain, right? I think the issue that I take with that community, because I'm not trans, real nigga, is they pretend so much and want you to pretend with them, i.e. those that think they have periods, those that want you to place them on the same pedestal that you might assist women. I can respect
the majority or the minority, in your opinion?
I would say 50-50. I would say 50-50, leaning more so maybe 60-40, with the majority being those that want you to, I would say believe. I know that's not the right term, but like, I don't see a trans woman as I see my mother or my fish friends. Like, I don't see that.
You said fish friends?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Oh, sis. Did you say fish, or what did you actually say?
I said fish friends.
I thought you said fish. You call us fishy. Okay.
No, but I love y'all.
I get it.
Yeah, but I definitely feel like when we're having these conversations, we are always targeting, rightfully so, the minority that are delusional.
That's interesting, because when you said there's a dating site for the trans women, do you believe that men will go to that site, right, more as a fetish, not as their preference?
Absolutely.
Right. And so with that, when they do go on that website, they're doing it because they know they're a fetish. And so we as cisgender, I'm only using this term because I want to make sure we're on the same level playing field as the cisgender women. Do you believe we're likened as a fetish in the same percentage as the transgender women?
No, because I don't think that liking cis women is a fetish. I think that is like it's an accepted piece, right?
Correct.
I think the violence, again, with the negative side of that, the other side is the violence comes, like you said, when people get found out. It's still a minority of people that are concealing, But there are also guys out there that will knowingly date someone who's trans, and if they feel like they've been outed,
that's
not necessarily that they didn't know. I've had friends, not that were trans, but because they were gay, being killed because whoever they were dealing with thought somebody saw them together.
And
so
that's my point. And that's literally my point you sat there and said. That's my whole entire premise of my point.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. You made several points.
No. That was the premise.
No, I have to listen. I have to be fair. I have to break it down because there's several things that said that it's not really point proven because women suffer violence at the hands of men overwhelmingly, regardless if they so-called trans or cis. So that point is moot. You're saying if you trick a man, he might slide you down a hill.
Not just trick, but if their friends find out.
No. I said P furthered that point. He made a good point for you.
I was trying to be very concise here, but not sit there and take up a lot of the time. But you got it. I forgot this is Wednesday. I'm trying to be concise in my points. Number one.
You shitting
Number
me.
two. What?
You shitting me.
Whatever, nigga. Like, I'm not doing with you tonight.
Okay.
Like I was saying, there is more violence.
I thought you wasn't doing it.
Because of those.
I thought you were going to be the bigger person.
Who said that? Who said that?
So, all right. No, I'm fucking with you. So Nay, you agreed when Love jumped out there as well. So how do you feel about the video? Let me you know what? I'm gonna play the Just Hilarious video. I feel like
because I didn't see that one.
Okay. All right, give me a second. Let me know when y'all can see the screen. Good?
Yep. Yes.
All right, let me refresh real quick. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most.
What if stands up for us? And us, I mean women, real women, biological women, women who were born with all the parts that you guys wish that you were. When does the delusion stop? What is the difference between you and someone who has been diagnosed to be mentally insane? What's the only difference is you don't have a straitjacket on. Stop talking out your face. Wake up. How are you projecting your anger on real women? Because we are the gatekeepers. We are the gatekeepers for periods. We're the only one that can bleed, honey. We're the only ones that can give birth. We make y'all people. We make y'all. Y'all come from us. You can't be us. You will never. You're chasing something you'll never, ever get. You'll never be that. What if stands up for us? And us, I'm.
Damn, y'all didn't see this one, huh?
No,
I did.
I didn't. She didn't sound angry though. I think the first the trans the trans woman. Yes, the first one. Ooh, look at he was like, yeah, get it right. They sound more angry, and I didn't like the whole like thing with saying you're like you guys are not happy and you are jealous. I didn't. That's why I was agreeing with Love. So I was like, I don't think that we're not happy with ourselves. They're unhappy with themselves, which is the reason why they end up wanting to turn their whole sex around. That's what I think. What Jess Lars is saying about the mentally insane, that might be harsh, but there might be some sort of truth to it because I'm just thinking it comes from some type of trauma, and trauma can lend to mental health issues. So maybe that's where she's going with it. Maybe it's the way she directed it, but that's what I'm kind of gathering from it.
You agree?
What, that about the mentally insane?
Yeah.
It sounds kind of harsh, but I can kind of see where she's going with it if you're looking at it from a trauma aspect.
No, I can see where she's going. Do you agree?
Do I agree? It sounds harsh. So I mean, I'm gonna have to say, I just say trauma. Because I don't want, it sounds so harsh, man. It's, yes.
You
Yeah.
agree? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you having a conversation. You saying that something is the matter, and you think the cause of something being the matter is trauma.
It's trauma, which is a mental health issue. So yeah, it sounds harsh, but yeah.
Well, you're saying that their trauma manifested into a mental health issue, which now they want to convert.
Which is reason why you decided to change your sex, and now you're coming off so angry at cisgender women and saying that we're the unhappy ones when you're clearly unhappy with yourself, which is why you want to change your sex to begin with.
Go ahead, Mary.
So, of course, I'm on board with Jess. Now, in regards to a mental health issue, and it could be because of my career and what I do, I believe these people are choosing, I'm not gonna say these people, sorry. I believe trans people are choosing to be trans, which I feel like can't correlate with a mental health issue, which is something people can't control. So you are in complete control of choosing that you want to look like a woman. And like Nate said, you're coming out saying that we're the ones that are miserable, we're the ones that aren't happy, we're the ones that aren't this and that. But the reason why you are a trans woman is because at some point you weren't happy with who you were or who you were looked at, how you were looked at, or whatever may have happened when you were your born gender. A lot of it, I think, what gets women so upset is because not necessarily that trans women are trying to, they're trying to take something from us. It's not like they're building their own thing. So it's like, oh, let's not call it breastfeeding anymore. I was on TikTok and this man, this married couple, this man literally had his titty in this baby's mouth. When I tell you the rage in my brain, because there was somebody else there coaching him, it might have been some kind of lactation consultant, whatever. They can't really judge, I guess. So somebody was coaching him like, oh, are you getting any milk? No, of course he's not getting no fucking milk. Y'all got him over here with this newborn babies sucking on his goddamn titty, knowing there's no milk that's gonna come out. Like, why? Because you think that it's gonna naturally just start producing out of nowhere? And that's the bigger issue, like taking things from us as born women. That's what y'all call it?
Called cisgender. You have to be politically correct, Mary.
You don't have to do shit.
I know. It's not being facetious.
Us real born women, you know what I'm saying? It's like you're trying to take things away from us that naturally we can't even take away from ourselves. And it's just like we struggle with a lot of these things. We struggle with periods. Like, if y'all want them, I wish I could fucking give them to you. I don't want that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wish you could push out a baby. I don't think I would have that many kids as I got now if my husband could. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's just, again, it's just more so what you're taking from us in your process.
Go ahead, Q.
Yeah, I think a big part of the problem is all these agendas that are trying to get pushed onto us as a society. Like, accepting these labels, accepting these terms, accepting these pronouns. And I know I say often, live and walk in your truth, but I stand on that because if you believe that you are a woman, that is true to you. You stripping a biological woman of her identity and trying to force that as the truth is where that becomes a problem. And I think that it is what it is. I'm not finna ever call myself a cisgender. Y'all could kiss my entire ass. I'm never calling myself a cisgender.
Wow.
So it's like, if that shit works for you, that's your shit. You want to call yourself a woman, you identify as a woman, that's your shit. You know what I mean? But this is somebody who lives and walks in that. If I didn't have to call myself gay, I wouldn't. I'm me. But it's because it's a part of society's norm that label works for people, and they're able to comprehend my lifestyle by me saying, "Oh, I am this, I am that." But I do think it's a problem. Like, the fuck is we forcing all this shit on people? And no disrespect to nobody, I'm not referring to you in your pronouns either. What's your name?
Oh wow.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
You know, some companies have you put that in your signature at work.
Call me old school, you know what I mean? But
also, you don't identify as cis, but you are a woman, correct?
I'm a woman.
And you identify as a woman, correct?
That's right.
So by definition, you are cis.
No,
cis
that's not their definition.
But no, cis is not a new word. Cis is scientific. It's been in science books from the beginning of time.
Well, I ain't never heard of it until now. So
It's a prefix that means on this side. I looked it up earlier.
That's cool.
Like if that's not new.
All that's new information to me, right? So that's why I say I will not subscribe to that. I've been identified as a woman since I became a woman, of age. So that's my shit.
I agree.
And I'm with Q. I say names. I don't say, if you heard me talk, I said this person, right? Because it's very hard for me to keep track, and I'm just trying to move the conversation along, and I don't want to get caught up on that. I want my message to be received. So I did this person, or I say your name.
But see, I'm sorry to cut you off. The problem with that stuff is that it does kind of move into, once we get this group of people to normalize this, right? Now we can move into making pedophiles free to be who they are. Like there's all bullshit on the back. Very careful about, right?
Explain, please clarify.
Because I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I don't really care that people accept me for being gay. Just don't disrespect me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't push that onto people.
Mm-hmm.
So for I can say the things that I'm saying because I apply these things to my own life.
Mm-hmm.
And I just feel like all this pushing and we got to brainwash and convince people that this is the way to go. That's going to open up so much more shit, right? And then people end up getting affected by that in a bad way. Just be who you are.
Tell me, you juxtapose the pedophilia, the pedophile acceptance, though. That's the part I was confused about. You juxtapose those two. So clarify that part for me, please.
Where if we start to call people in their pronouns and start to accept that we are cisgender and that then there are trans women and the people sharing bathrooms and all that shit, if we normalize that, it doesn't open the door for pedophilia.
I'm literally asking how you made that connection. I don't know. If you make the connection clear to me, that's fine. But make it clear how you believe it. Make it clear to me, please.
Well, I mean, there's stuff that's happening now in the back end. If y'all pay attention to it, there's stuff that just doesn't make the news. You can't believe the news for everything, but
Agreed.
Just little micro situations that happen where it's almost like they tested a little bit. Like, oh, we're gonna throw this at you. Certain content that's out, right? There's certain people that I won't even friend you on Facebook if your content looks a certain way. All that sharing shit of kids getting raped and shit like that, I will unfriend you so fucking fast. But a lot of that is
people.
Y'all never seen or heard of none of this shit?
No, honest to God.
You guys hear that? Well, Q, just to give it an example, you can jump back on, right? Something might be more world, like macro. Did you guys hear that movie Sound of Freedom?
No.
And how they were shooting it down and whatnot. Good God, y'all niggas live in a box. So basically, it's a true story, but it's about trafficking children. And they were trying to block it for so many different reasons. Was literally exonerating children that were being trafficked, in Eurasia, in America, just everywhere. And it's been getting a lot of pushback because it's graphic, but it shows how these kids were saved, but also how kids are trafficked for sexual reasons all over the world. Go ahead, Q.
Yeah. Okay. So what I'm trying to say, love, is that when we become desensitized to that stuff because it's pushed on us so much, it definitely does open up room for a lot of other sick shit that people actually really just want to do freely. And they just want it to be a thing so that there is no judgment behind it. There's no shame attached to it. Instead of just being able to take it for what it is. You know what I mean?
Got you. No, I get it. I agree with you in that every little centimeter you give, it will eventually create a mile. I do agree with that. And so
Nina,
about time. Yeah, man. The third cousin membership is literally 99 cents. You know what I'm saying? It's just showing love and support. Nina is also a moderator. She jumped on the panel a couple weeks ago. We appreciate you. Shit like that. John the Baptist with the $5 super chat. A natural submissive woman is the greatest creation God created for a man.
Shit like that.
One more. Will with the $10 super chat. If it isn't a mental illness, how do you explain the elevated suicide rate within the trans community?
How do you explain the same suicide rate in the Black community?
it's
black
just
men.
that mental. It's just that mental health.
Like I said.
It's stuff you're dealing with. It's not the fact that transgender this and that. No, you're choosing to be trans. Like, but as far as you not being happy with yourself, that can lead to mental health issues.
P,
Well,
are you
also
saying that?
go ahead.
Sorry, just to clarify, you're saying that because I don't know the stat. You're saying that the trans percentage of suicide is the same as in our community? Like the percentage is the same?
I can look that up for you. I don't have it, but I don't think it's higher than.
Okay, I think it's higher than, but we can vet it, right? We can look it up real quick.
Mm-hmm.
I think it is higher than, but
even with that, it's not about being trans.
Hmm.
That's the trans identity versus the experience, right? I'm black. I'm gay. I have depression. I have anxiety. Do I have anxiety and depression because I'm black and gay? No. Do I have depression and anxiety because of the things that happen to me because I'm gay? Sure. So there's a difference. You can't just say, and I can't believe I'm defending this, but you can't just say like, oh, they're trans, so they have a mental illness, right? Because a couple of years ago, very, very recent in our past, being gay was in the DSM. Being gay was a mental illness too. And so it's funny to me, or it's kind of odd to hear other people like really go in knowing we were in the DSM not too long ago. You could have given me therapy just to be me. Do I agree with being trans? That's above my pay grade. However, I feel like if we're going to talk about respect and I want somebody to respect me and let me rock, I got to let them rock too. So
Are you saying that you don't think it is a mental illness at all? Like there's nothing like mental health related to the trans community?
Personally or professionally? Because those are two different answers.
Okay, personally.
Personally, I don't think it's organic. Whether it be by environment or whatever. Professionally, especially because of what I do, I respect everybody. I get it. It's just, if you want me to respect you by your pronouns, cool. Pronouns are words. Words don't hurt me. You want to be she, her, they, them, cheech and chong, whatever. Like there's a million different pronouns. I only know he, him, her, she, they, them, whatever. But it takes nothing for me to respect you in that manner. It takes everything for me to go out of my way to disrespect you, to do everything else.
I mean, yeah, I'm not saying I disrespect, but I personally think that there's still some type of mental health aspect to it. Because a lot of times trans people, before they're trans, they start out as lesbian or gay. And then there's something that triggers them. These are the ones I know. And it usually triggers them to decide, now I want to change my agenda. And for whatever reason, but I still think there's some trauma. Because honestly, even in just being lesbian gay, that often comes with a level of trauma that kind of led you to that path.
But that's what we're saying. The trauma brings on the mental health issue. That's why I think not being, not actually choosing to be a trans person. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times I believe the suicide rate is higher for people before they even get that far. You get what I'm saying? Before they even get to the point where they're trans. It's when they're battling within themselves about what they want to do with themselves, about themselves, because they don't understand what they're feeling. You get what I'm saying? That's the mental health issue, not, actually being trans, because that's your choice.
Yeah, I just wanted to add this one last part with what I was speaking on too earlier with the agenda is then if you guys notice, all these little wars get created too, right? So now you have women defending being who they are against men who want to be women. All of that shit is by design.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
But when people just can simply be who they are and not try to force somebody to accept that as the truth.
Yeah.
So now as women, we're defending somebody trying to force us to accept that men are women too.
Mm-hmm.
The fuck?
That's problematic. That's a problem for me. That's offensive that I have to defend. I have to defend so hard something I was born into. And the way of the world in 2023 is a wild place. Like it's becoming the wild, wild west. Like anything goes. And I'm a big proponent of, you get people sending me, they're going to take a whole mile. It's going to grow into an avalanche of, we're going to go all the way to the left. And it's scary. Go ahead, Alex. I mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. What I always find interesting in this conversation, it's always transgender women with the issue. I very rarely, if I've ever heard transgender men, which are born women who transition over to men, outwardly complaining. And I think that just comes from the nature of being for political terms, cisgender women, right? We know our role in society. We know we're at the bottom of the totem pole. We've transitioned over to identifying as a male, and we decided to just keep quiet. I think it's very macho when transgender women, and I think that speaks to their nature of being a man, just feel like they have to be extra boisterous, and we have to lime this, arm that, and da-da-da-da-da. And you're battling, and it's just like, for what? And I think that's always so interesting to me. I think with the first person was Cherry Boom, it gave a lot of anger. And for me, it kind of felt like, well, I'm trans, but I can still get your man type of thing. It felt very like Banana Boo Boo-ish, very childish to me, right? And I think when people have these conversations, I think as a woman, as a natural born cisgender, whatever we want to call it, I think for me, my issue personally is that it's not that we're trying to take away from you, but you need to understand that, yes, as a whole, as a conglomerate, whatever, we see you as a woman, but the reality is that you are transgender. When Mary brought up the breastfeeding issue, right? I'm in healthcare. WIC now, they're not calling it breastfeeding anymore. It's called chest feeding. Chest feeding. And I remember the women in the group were like, but you have to have breasts. Whether you get them cut down or whatever the case is, or you get your top surgery, you still have breasts. You still have what is needed to go ahead and breastfeed and produce that. If you call it chest feeding, I think it's a matter of everything is feeling like it's being taken away. I don't care. And then there's the argument with Jess Hilarious saying, well, not all women can go ahead and have children. That may be so, but we have the parts. We are born with that. And when there is an issue with a woman being able to go ahead and have a child, and considering being a natural born woman, it's because something is wrong. There's a health reason associated to that. But you can go ahead and you can get your outside to the inside, but you will never be able to do those things. And I think that's where the fight comes from when you have the conversation between cisgender women and transgender women. And I very rarely ever hear transgender men saying anything.
So let me ask this question then, because you kind of hit a few points. There's one we're gonna get to, but we're not gonna address it now. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, and tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. It helps the channel the most. So Alex kind of touched on it. We've been kind of tiptoeing around it. And there's a couple things Q said I wanted to ask her some follow-ups, but I'll wait. Do females have a monopoly on womanhood? Do females have a monopoly on womanhood? Go ahead, Ish.
I don't think we're trying to have a monopoly of womanhood. I think we respect, me personally, I respect whatever you want to be called. My issue is, and we all know that the LGBT community is strong. Their money power is strong. So communities, agencies, they kind of just buy into whatever they want to be bought into. So when you see stuff where, oh, we're taking women off the box of tampons because not only women get periods, it's they're trying to erase what we have. Like we don't want, like, if you want to be a woman, fine. We just want to have what is made for us. That's it.
So you saying you don't want a monopoly, but you getting erased, and you feel some type of way about it.
Wouldn't you? If something is trying to make you obsolete?
What I'm saying is, what a monopoly mean? I want to own all of it. I don't want to be erased, right? I have an issue if you try to replace me.
If you're trying to be a woman, why don't you just accept everything that a woman already has? Why try to make it about you, though?
I understand, but I'm just saying, do females have a monopoly on womanhood?
Yeah, we do.
Bruh.
I think part of the problem is, I think the men, and let's follow my logic, please, how I see it real quick. The men transitioning to females are bringing their dominance, or trying to bring their dominance from their malehood into our womanhood and saying, we got it, y'all don't own it. And that's the attitude that bothers me, I think, the most. Like, I had to try to break it down in my mind. They're still bringing that male domination with them because they're naturally born a man. So they have those innate attitudes and those innate privileges, male privileges, right? but they're not acknowledging it, and they're bringing it over here on our side to the womanhood and saying, it's not just you guys, we got it too. It's not, you don't own it, we got it. And that's the problem that I see. That's the part that bothers me, I believe, because as Alex said, the females transitioning to men, which is transgender men, aren't coming to the man side and saying, y'all don't just have it, we got it too. I very rarely, now correct me if I'm wrong, but very rarely do I see a woman coming from a woman to a man and having these same arguments and arguing with you men saying you don't own manhood.
We're gonna get to that.
We're trying to compete in spaces that were just made for men. As
y'all want to get to that now, or y'all want to finish answering this question?
I honestly didn't know that was part of your question, Hamp. I was just giving my organic thoughts. But I'll be quiet. I'll go on mute.
Do we not have anybody that's like trans? Like, because I'm curious what makes. I want to know, why do they want to be a woman? Like, we go through a lot of shit. Why do you want to be us so bad?
So in that clip, Cherry Boom clip, he said that it's hard. What?
Now you be extra now.
I'm being dead serious. I'm so sick of y'all. I've been listening to y'all. Y'all pussy up and tiptoe. The only person that tiptoe is cute. Everybody, for the sake of the conversation, I'm gonna say sis. Man, y'all niggas is soft as shit. Baby shit, man. I just got finished changing a bunch of diapers. I'm getting a reminder, man. But
like, testosterone taking over. You said women to the front of the congregation, and we here and we talking, and it still ain't good enough.
It's my fault, P.
It's your fault. You got 20,000 kids. You got.
Hey, man.
Shit like that.
Hey, Mr. White, am I trip? Like I'm feeling like
you want answers. I want the truth.
Like I'm just feeling like this is crazy, man.
I just want to know why.
Yo, it's a lot. It's too confusing for me, yo. I don't even deal with it. Women, men, like cis, all of this stuff. I'm a man. I don't get into it like at all. I'm not calling nobody nothing. I'll call you your name, and I'm just not giving into it, yo. Like I know I'm probably at risk for losing my job eventually. You know what I'm saying? Like I already got some control situations, but it's cool, you know. Glory to the Most High. I'm in a position where it ain't gonna matter now because I can work for myself. So, but I already know I'm not going to give this much thought. It's too confusing.
Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that.
Too much,
so, just to answer quickly, Mary, I know you said you were wondering what you were wondering, right? So, basically, in that video, the longer clips, he was saying that it is difficult to be a woman. Like this shit ain't fun to be a woman to live in this world. That's what was said at the end of that clip.
So why you want to be one so bad?
Because the sentiments in what you guys are sharing about mental health and trauma. Remember, in the video, it was said that I wanted my outside to match my inside.
Right.
So a lot of the sentiment is I feel as though I'm a woman, but my outward appearance doesn't match it. I don't think the transgenders are subscribing to you guys' notion saying my head is fucked up. That's why I want to be a girl.
Yeah, because being a woman, like the other girl said, like it's not a feeling. Like it's just naturally born who the fuck you are. Like you're a woman. So all right, like if you don't feel like, what do you mean? Like I feel like it's more so just you don't fit in with men because you might be a little sassy, but so you like I might as well go full blown at this point because I'm never gonna fit in here.
I gotta call cap on this name shit though. You don't know everybody. So if you in a Mickey D's and you ordering, right, Q, and you say, I usually say sir and ma'am, you know what I mean? Even just to workers, I feel like they don't get enough respect, like from consumers sometimes. So if I'm like, yes, sir, right? I was actually in a McDonald's, like, yes, sir. And then he like froze for a second because he was dressed like a girl or he was transgender, whatever it was. And I'm just like, you're just gonna have to freeze to death. I can't help you with that. So how do you guys navigate that? Because Q, I noticed you mentioned disrespect. They feel disrespected if you don't use the pronouns. Because you said as long as they respect me, I'm cool.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not going to use their pronouns. That might be adverse to how you want to be treated.
No, because I've run into people, and I'm an excuse me kind of person. You don't need a sir or ma'am for that.
Yeah, you just say hi.
You just say
hello,
right.
Yeah.
Just say their name.
Y'all some twinkle toe ballerina and motherfuckers. Let me ask you a question. You don't say yes, sir, or yes, ma'am to people? Like if somebody
I have, but not in this day and age, obviously.
okay, so you avoid it. You avoid. See the truth.
Down here in the South, they do. So, like, to me, if it's like, if you look like a man or a woman, listen, my husband, he done tripped up a couple times, like, sir, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Correct you.
It's just, it's more so how you look. But if you're hearing somebody off of a speaker and it sounds like a dude, you gonna say, sir. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
guys, hello, good evening, hi. I call them its.
Oh,
so if I'm at work, no, I'm serious. So, like this one person I work with, he's, I think a queer. Now I really don't know exactly what it is. I'm like Adrian, I don't get into all that. It's too confusing. But he's a man. He dressed like a woman. Some days he looks like a woman. Some days he looks like a man. So I just call him it. Hey, you it. I mean,
you really addressed them by it, B? Like, hey, it.
You said it before B, and what happened? No, tell me the story. Tell me exactly what happened. You said
they're gonna tell you.
Then what
have
happened?
to respect what they ask you to say.
No. I want to know the story. Hold on, Nate. B, you addressed them as it, and then what happened?
Asia, act like a lady today, okay?
Okay, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, B.
She feeling saucy.
Oh, huh? Then what happened? They acknowledged whatever I said, and they went on about their business.
You's a damn lie, because where you work is right next door to a safe house center.
Yo,
well,
you zoomed in on you.
I know. I like my background.
Are you kidding me? I just want to know the particulars because I'm going to call cap on that.
So, but you don't work with me either. So
they let you call them it, and they didn't say, "Excuse me, I am." They just said nothing. Like
I mean, no. Well, let me. It's not like it's been like 100 people I've met and I've called them it. It's only been one or two who I've come across. And if I can't identify who you are, you just could get called it. I mean, I don't know what you want from me. I mean, if you.
So what happened when you said it, B? Let me do the questioning, man.
This one guy, he ain't tripping off of it. So you know.
You know him?
I mean, I don't know him personally, but we work.
You said you work around him.
Yeah.
So you say, yo, it, what you up to?
Well, I said, hey, sir, and then he looked like a lady, so I said it.
DB, here why it's coming across as fraudulent. You work with him, so you know boy name. So why would you say it?
Because of how he dresses.
Put him in the fucking bedroom. Get him out of here. Come on.
So
yeah, but if y'all so
what
I'm saying is you work with him, right? What's boy name?
I don't always call everyone by their name. Like, okay, Kayla. Sometimes I'll say, hey, yo, come here. I don't always call everyone by their name.
So you said, hey, yo, it, come here. Think about that.
No, I'm not. No, I'm saying that I work with a lady named Kayla. But I'm like, her name is Kayla. Sometimes I'm gonna call her Kayla.
Don't. If y'all, everybody's starting to talk, it gets convoluted, and then motherfuckers can run. So let me ask you a question. You work with this nigga.
Yeah.
You know it's a boy at the very least, regardless if he a cross dresser or not, right? So at what is the exchange where you have to say it?
Well, maybe I was being a dickhead, but if he had an issue with it, he can go to HR.
So all right. Role play with Adrian. Adrian walking. He's sassy today. Go ahead, Adrian. Act like you walking.
The fact that he was Adrian.
Go ahead, hey.
Why couldn't it be you, him?
Huh?
Yeah, I can't be sassy, yo. I don't
snap your fingers. Snap your fingers.
No, just snap your fingers.
Period.
Oh,
period.
Put him in the fucking bedroom. Get him out of here. Come on.
This nigga sassy as shit. All right, so he walking, he wild sassy. What happened?
You mean with Adrian?
No, with the dude. You know what I'm talking about.
Man, well, this is when I first met him. I kind of knew that kind of. I called him it. I
You
mean,
know he be lying.
IEP is not hitting.
I called him it.
Oh, he be lying.
He didn't call him it. He didn't call him it. Not to his face. He didn't. Couldn't have.
Maybe behind his back in conversation.
Man, I called him
right behind his back.
You over there off the betting road. You ain't calling none of them no it without it being a problem. Cut it out.
I don't see that on Benton Road.
But you definitely saw that banner because there's a house right
There is
across
a
the
clinic
street.
there.
What house?
There is a clinic.
So there's a house across the street. A safe. It's like it was a shelter specifically for those type of people, for trans people, right? And I know that because I used to work where you work. And one summer, I had my kids, my summer youth employees. Friends came down.
Oh wait. Well, I'll shut my mouth.
Friends come down, look like girls, sound like men. Go and ask one of my children lifeguards, "Hey, where's the locker room?" My lifeguard points to the boys' locker room. They turn up. They want to start fighting these kids. We're not doing that. We finally got that settled, right? That same day, they use the women's locker room because DC is very gay friendly. Shout out to the mayor. But you're not going to get around. You have to respect people. So they go to the women's locker room. They still have their parts. I know they still have their parts because I got parents coming to me talking about there's men with their dicks out in the women's locker room. But I can't tell them to go anywhere because they're trans. And they're rightfully trans. They're not pedophiles or anything like that. But they have their parts. Either way, what y'all do in the locker room is it's a women's space. So I can understand how that it's weird to see chicks with dicks with your kids here, right? Now the issue becomes that's my issue. That's one of my issues. Yes, I have to respect you, but you can't expose my children to that.
But here's the fly shit about that makes it motherfuckers trying to prove a point is when men go in the locker rooms of today in the gym and all that, we don't walk around butt ass like men used to do 40 years ago. Nah, we don't. And not in no Planet Fitness, not in no Gold's Gym. Ain't nobody walking around just butt ass.
No, but they do it at LA. Shout out to LA Fitness, y'all.
Not in LA. It's not. We don't do it no more because they have shower doors and all that. You might switch real quick. But motherfuckers ain't walking around talking, having a conversation. That's the motherfuckers that from the 60s. And so when they went in the girls' locker room, I feel like that was done to prove a point. Because that don't happen in our locker rooms. Real shit.
It does happen in locker. I don't know where you're going. Maybe I go where
I've been to more gyms than you. Look. Shit me. I've been in more gyms than you.
No, we're not doing that.
Come on, man. You know we don't do that. Motherfuckers ain't walking around butt ass everywhere. Come on.
Niggas do. That's why we go to the LA Fitness. Hello.
Put him in the fucking bedroom. Get him out of here.
Nigga. Yo, all right, man. Yo. Interesting. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. Man, yo, hey. We got to get somebody in the NFL draft ASAP. This fucking tiptoeing and backpedaling, man.
And the cap that just happened.
Nah, be play cricket or something. So, let me ask this question. Let's get to this. Are men even affected by the trans agenda? Because you guys kind of hit on it. So, hey, Mr. White, you want to go first?
Yeah. So are we affected by women trying to be men? I'm not using all the extra verbiage I use. No, because you can't duplicate us. You can't replicate us. It doesn't matter. That's why it's not an issue. And
shit like that.
We don't even really acknowledge it, right? Oh, there go one. It's not going to be a thing, and they already know. I think women are so much more accepting, and it happens because as soon as the door starts, women want to be teamed them, and let's support them. And the door was open, and now they over here trying to take over y'all spot, right? Even though in the clip she was saying, "Hey, no, we don't want it," but now you see the attack. But off gate, we wasn't accepting that at all, right? Nah. So it's not our problem. It'll never be our problem because it's only one us.
Yeah.
Clean cut, 100%. Dry.
Yeah, nah, real shit.
Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit
I
like
agree.
that. Shit
Like
that.
we are so unaffected because when it transition to men, you ain't strong, you ain't big, you ain't fast, you can't play no sports, you can't compete, right? You're not gonna be cast before us in roles. You don't got the jawline. I mean, it's just so much, and we wasn't even for the shit in the first place. But we don't really have an issue because they can't take shit from us.
That's cap. Y'all don't have an issue because they don't do shit about it.
They can't take nothing from us. Like even like how go ahead. Go ahead.
Y'all have an issue because they don't do shit about it. Y'all just speaking from ego right now.
Yeah.
Do shit about what?
There is no quote unquote threat or anything like that being posed by the trans men. That's what I think. Alex, you said that, right?
There is no threat.
Correct.
Men are more threatened
But
by
it's not
lesbian
because
gays.
y'all speaking from an egotistical place by saying because we're men and we got this. That ain't got shit to do with it.
Yeah, we're not threatened. That's the problem.
But that's not why.
But we're not threatened. They not taking our women, right? Y'all getting replaced by them. That's the difference. We not getting replaced. Even roles in movies, they always have trans women more so. Take the show. What's so popular? That corny ass football show that's on Netflix, All American.
I love that show.
I know y'all love that shit. That's why I named it. They make sure to highlight trans women in these very popular shows that predominantly black people watch. Y'all got to start looking at this shit.
I will debate.
And then, so here's the thing. What? Wait. What the fuck are you mad at me for? If I'm talking and y'all try to start talking while I'm talking, don't get mad at me. Just keep listening.
Oh wow.
All right. Wow.
Like that.
Nah, man, cause y'all no, P. This what I don't like, P. Oh, P. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Oh, I want to use cisgender and all that just to be niggas soft as baby shit. And then I start talking, they want to try to jump in and cut me off. Nah, bro.
Get him out of here. Come on.
On this,
Hey, B, I'm on their ass. Be quiet
I'm
for a
debating
second.
on this hand because
So,
women, trans women.
I'm not done.
I'm trying to.
But Q jumped in, try to call cap on what? And what we saying is the truth. Where are we threatened? Where are we being replaced?
Let me tell you, women. Hold on here.
I'm not talking to y'all. I'm talking to Q. Go ahead, Q.
That has nothing to do with why it's not happening. You like it, y'all just wasn't a part of that agenda, right? Just like men don't have a quote unquote feminism movement.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all just not a part of that agenda. So, but if y'all was chosen to be a part of that agenda, they will be coming for y'all asses. That's not happening. But it has nothing to do with the egotistical shit that you and Adrian talking about.
Oh, I see what you're saying. You're wrong.
Y'all wrong. Y'all wrong.
But it's
That's
right.
all that is.
Not
That's all that is. We're having a conversation, Mary. That's all that was, Q. I didn't understand what you're saying. Now I understand you're just wrong.
No, y'all wrong.
Now, can I get
sit here
deep?
up and down between this motherfucker in the corner and these motherfuckers in the comments, comparing me to y'all constantly, and I don't even compare me to y'all.
Exactly.
So
What threatened by lesbians and gays?
You guys misunderstand us having a conversation about it.
No, because let me land. It's
Go ahead.
because I pose a threat to you guys. But these trans men are not doing that. That is why. It has nothing to do with that egotistical bullshit that y'all was talking about.
What are you talking about? What threat are you? We dispel everything.
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
We're having a hold on a second, Q. Pardon me for a second. I know that the women up here don't want to have no decorum when me and Q are having a conversation. But as soon as P start putting y'all in your place about the right shit to say, y'all niggas was backpedaling and stuttering like a motherfucker.
No.
Can y'all just be quiet for a second?
No. That didn't happen.
So we can have a conversation.
That didn't happen. Don't do that.
Hey, P, say something so they could be quiet if you don't mind.
No, because that didn't happen in the first place. I'm trying to decorum right now. I'm trying
Q.
to decorum. That's
Too
not
late.
what happened.
Q.
What I'm saying is that there is a
Q,
threat.
Can I finish having a conversation?
I will respect you, yes, but I'm asking you next time, call on me in the next 30 seconds, please.
Hey, you ain't saying nothing. I'm about to call on B next. Q, sorry, we were interrupted. And it's crazy how they jumped on the transgender. How he was so aggressive and came with this energy. Y'all fooling the hell out of me right now. start, Q. What were we saying?
You were trying to say that I'm wrong.
Oh,
Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that.
I understand what you mean. Like you're saying that we weren't a part of this agenda, so we weren't under attack at all. But we're simply saying the threat is minimal. Because what can they do to us? How can they replace us? What can they do differently than us? Like
you're thinking about like, oh, they're gonna dominate sports. That's because that's where your head is at most of the time here, because you're a sports nigga. But
yeah.
Speaking in general, you're like, oh, they're not taking our women. I don't know no trans men that's really single like that, and their girlfriends and wives are not ugly. So what the fuck is you talking about?
Because we know something.
No, those are lesbian women.
Yeah, but then they're also good women too.
What do you mean? Oh, can lesbian women be good women? Sure.
Look for they're good women. So y'all are losing your women to them. Many of y'all losing your women to gay women.
The lesbians, yes, the lesbians and gays.
And to white niggas.
That's my point.
Yep, white men. I say it.
I love being classy white niggas.
We say it.
And the gays.
All right, let's see, because I wanna make sure I employ one of your tactics that I learned that is pretty actually valuable. Q, love, you like niggas, like men that were born men?
Yes.
Would you marry a white man?
It's a trick question.
Would you marry a white man?
Yes.
Okay.
Come
now,
on,
now here's the thing. Now, if we go back and rewind, is that a different answer than what she gave previously?
Because I knew you're trying to.
No, wait. I'm not talking to you.
I love you, Asia, but yeah, God. It's a different answer.
Asia, you had Bonnie yesterday. Bonnie, you could have hollered at Bonnie yesterday.
Yo, hold on. I'm not done. I learned this from Q. Mary, you date white boys? Would you marry a white boy?
No.
Are you married to a man?
Yes.
Would you have married a woman?
No.
Uh-oh. Shit getting shaky. Alex.
Yeah.
You like girls, nigga?
No.
Would you marry a white boy?
No.
Isha, y'all even want me to ask Isha?
You don't have to.
All right, then. So don't play with us with that dumbass anecdotal shit.
I'm not Mike, but him.
So you're going off of the women on this panel, right? But you didn't even have to do that because that's the obvious. And to that point, love, yeah, you really want to be with a nigga, but you might end up with a white nigga.
Yes, so, that was my point.
What I'm saying is this.
Dang,
it's what you're trying to prove, right? And then it's what the reality is.
Mm-hmm.
No, Q. What I'm saying is, I know, but I learned that from you that the statistics don't matter as much as being outside, right? So we have to use the sample size that we have here, and it disproves those notions. Is all I'm saying.
Run the fucking tapes back. There's been plenty of times where I use outside to support my statements, nigga.
No, we do too, but you also shoot down stats.
This is not Tuesday night POV. Do not play them games with me, bro.
Oh, you getting smoked. You getting smoked. When I clip this, I'm gonna clip it in a full segment. I'm gonna clip it in a full segment, and you're gonna see it didn't go how you think it's gonna go.
I use outside.
And here's the other problem: you don't have your mic in, so I'm over talking you, and it's gonna come across on the video. You should have plugged your mic in. John the Baptist with a $10 super chat. even as they did not like to retain God in their knowledge, God gave them over to a reprobate mind, to those things which are not convenient. Romans 1:28, King James Version. This conversation is crazy. Let me get one more for the hook. Mr. Britt with the $2 super chat. 5'2" men are comical. We aren't threatened.
Right. Y'all can be unthreatened all day, but y'all don't act like it.
Right. For real. And all I was gonna say, I'm actually.
I know. I'm trying to get B in.
B don't be saying shit.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like,
dang. Y'all having the conversation. Y'all are having the conversation. I mean,
go ahead and let your king talk, Camp.
B, huh?
I said, go ahead and let your king talk. Go.
B.
Yeah.
What you think?
Are men affected? I don't give a damn about that shit. The trans and all this. I don't give a
Are
damn.
men affected by the trans agenda?
No, I know we're not affected by it. I don't see how we would be affected by it. I don't pay that any attention. I don't give a shit.
Because you love the person for who they are, right?
I mean, yeah. Listen, if you're trans, you're trans. If you are a man born woman, woman born man. I mean, listen, they don't bother me. I don't bother them.
Did you get with it all?
Hold on, what is happening right now?
Yeah, stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop.
Yo, B, what is he
Pierre's
talking about?
comment.
Ignore that nigga?
Yeah, ignore Pierre.
Right.
Listen, I'm not affected by that. Nah, I don't give a shit.
Yo, hold on, B. You ain't even saying nothing, man.
Well, you
Hold on.
asked,
Told
are
you, we
men
told you.
affected by the trans agenda? I mean, I answered the question.
So you saying no, we not?
No. How will we be affected by their agenda?
Because they're not posing a threat to y'all. Like for example, I'm gonna bring it full circle. I make certain statements, right? I own being a woman all the time, but I make certain statements, and niggas go sick in the comments, and you guys sometimes go sick on the panel just off of comments and statements that I make, right? Imagine if a woman was saying the same thing these trans men are saying, or these trans women are saying. If they were like, "We are men. We do have this. Our dick does get hard." The implication pisses you guys off.
Yeah. You talking about if. Here's the other thing.
No,
Q.
fuck all that, him. The implication pisses you guys off.
No, it does. They don't say it because they know it has no effect.
And I'm speaking to B, you said, and what you said, and what Adrian said, how y'all would never. If these motherfuckers came for y'all tomorrow, you niggas would be crying real tears because the implication pisses
They
y'all
would
off.
have to line it up.
Nah, it ain't that simple.
Yes,
Y'all
it
get
is. They will have to
emotional off
line it up. Prove it to us.
Okay,
They
I'll
can't-
run back several clips where niggas got in their feelings off of implications.
Yeah, she's right. She's right. Them comments
No,
prove it,
not
Ham.
right.
Those comments
here's the
prove it,
thing.
Ham. They are
No, they don't. Be quiet for a second. So here's the thing. Q, we're having a conversation about a specific topic.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're answering, right, or pushing back on a specific topic, we ain't going crazy because once we go off the show, we ain't talking about that shit no more. But we having a conversation about a topic, and therefore
No,
we
you're
address
not.
it.
Y'all capping.
That don't even make no sense. And then also, wait, I'm not done. And then also, you said, Q, that you were an outlier. So you never solve for outliers because it's minuscule. So you said yourself you're an outlier. So why would we be threatened by you if you one of a million? That don't even make sense.
The shit that y'all say, okay, we run the clips back with it. Where motherfuckers on here have gotten in their emotions. Because you trying to flip it, talking about me being an outlier, but you want to address the fact
You
that
said you were an
men-
outlier,
that
remember?
Your kings get emotional off of implications.
No, I'm saying you said you.
want to talk about me being an outlier. That ain't
No,
got shit to
you
do with
said you were an outlier.
But
You
that
said you were
has
an
nothing to do
outlier.
with what I'm saying.
But you said you were an outlier. Why are we threatened by a one out of a
Because
million?
how you guys act.
But also, we dispel the fact that you even think you're an outlier.
Because of how you guys act. What part of that do you not understand?
You're not even talking back to me. You just saying words back.
You saying words too. So we in the same boat right now.
Your uncle.
I hope you know how to swim, nigga.
Can I say something that
Then the answer, girl.
when I read this, when it said, y'all gonna probably be mad at me for saying this. When I read, are men even affected by the trans agenda? The first thing that came to mind was, there are a lot of men that, in my opinion, be operating like they're gay. So their effect is that they will still actually mess with these trans women. To be perfectly honest with you, that's how they're affected by it. They'll be messing with them because like they really are on the low down. They're really gay, but they want to have that trans woman because they look like a woman. So they don't want to say I'm gay. That's why they do it. That's just in my opinion. That's how I read it when it said, are they affected by the trans agenda? I read it in the opposite.
Oh.
And I think to that point of how we're reading it, I read it as, does it affect them? Like our transgender men coming in and shaking shit up for cisgender men? The reality is no.
Yeah,
we don't hear the argument going on the other side. There's no threat. There's no, the way that transgender women are coming in and now we have to change it from breastfeeding to chest feeding. That changes things. How we can't have the image of a woman or a cisgender woman on a tampons box or anything like that. That changes things. Nothing that we do when we transition over affects men. Nothing at all. So when I hear that, when I read that question, that's what I think about. Now, are there men who are on the down low and who, what was it? What's the basketball player? Dwight Howard or whatever the case was? Wasn't it?
Alleged.
You know, a little something. But I think overall, when we transition over to wanting to be a male, we are still at the bottom bottom of the totem pole. We're not over there being loud. As it is when men come over and they transition to women, they are being loud. They are doing their man thing. I'm loud, I'm boisterous, I'm in the room. You're going to hear me. My presence is dominating over what already exists. So I think that's the difference between the two.
Yeah, that's a good.
Yeah. It's like their masculinity that they're trying to run from so much, they're using that in our community, which isn't fair. You know what I mean? Like we talked in an episode about how these dudes that want to be girls are actually, trying to compete in our sports under a woman category and trying to get their rights to do that, is because you're using your masculinity to still overpower us. So if you don't want to be so masculine, why are you using it even over here?
You know, a trans woman also won not Miss America, was it Miss something?
It's Thailand. It's somewhere over there. Somewhere. It's somewhere over Asia.
No, I think it was something bigger though. Y'all can fact check it though. I think
it was in another country though.
Literally checked
no, but I think what I'm saying is I think it was
it was Miss Universe Thailand. I'm telling you.
That's what I said.
And then also Caitlyn Jenner won Woman of the Year.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like y'all acting like no, it's not the same. I mean, but then you know what's crazy though? We saying Alex kind of just said what we said because that's the truth of the other matter.
But Alex said something way more, with more substance and more eloquent. So she
No, it was more eloquent because you allow her to land. That was it. She said literally the same thing.
No, she did not.
Yes, she did.
No, she didn't. No, all right. If you're gonna say she said what y'all said, then you got to give love that the same respect when she said that P said what she said.
What?
Huh?
Y'all remember earlier when P said something?
You talking about?
Love
nigga?
said,
First off, she did not say what P said.
And you told her no, that she didn't. So if you're
Because she didn't.
Alex said
Because she didn't. Because she didn't.
She
Alex
did.
did not just say what you guys said.
Because here's what she was talking about: showing them off and closeting them. That was not the same point. And then there was a different thing about violence that P clarified.
It was not the same point. Y'all didn't make y'all all did not make the same point. She said something with substance.
No, she said the same thing.
No, she didn't.
This is how we're gonna solve it. Him, what did Alex say?
That's corny. I'm just saying. Alex said that. Alex said this. And now you guys know I can regurgitate what people are saying, but that's Alex. Go ahead, Mr. White.
Nah, yeah, but you could ask Alex because the thing I said is we're not threatened by them. They can't do nothing with us. They can't replace us, etc. That's pretty much what Alex said. And let's ask Alex. Was that what you were saying? Was that what me and him was saying? Pretty much, Alex.
And even giving it to a more kind of, it's very inappropriate, but even giving to the term when women leave and they go to be with another woman and they're using particular sex toys, and a man can say, okay, but you're not a man. You'll never have what I have. When you have the people and they're having that argument, my dick is bigger than yours and this and that and the third, and a man can say, okay, but mine is real and yours is not. Like, it's literally like, I'm not threatened by it.
So how do you feel, Q, that Alex said that we said what she said?
I think that's bullshit. I think Mr. White needed that because otherwise he would start crying if nobody agreed with him. We see that a lot. But Alex is really nice, so that was expected.
But Alex, she does tiptoe around shit like this, but she ain't that scary. She would tell us if she didn't say what we said.
No, okay. I mean, y'all.
Some people are allowed to land and others aren't. I realize that. I'm gonna
right?
put back on mute.
Go back on mute, please. Kevin3905 with the $10 super chat. Trans men aren't using men's stalls or competing with men in sports. They are not a threat to men in any way! Exclamation point times
That's
2.
all cap. That's gonna say that. I'm calling cap on y'all asses.
Oh wait, they do use the men's bathroom though.
Gay and lesbian women.
They use the men's bathroom, and who cares? Nobody cares, right? It's not the same.
Yeah.
It's not the same. I understand. So to tie this back to the beginning, Just Hilarious, I agree with half of what she said. Particularly the part where she said, we are the gatekeeper, we being the women, are gatekeepers to womanhood. Absolutely. Y'all get the periods. Even the girls who are born without the parts, like there are biological women who don't have periods. At some point in your life, you will no longer have a period. However, your chromosomes state that you are a female.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine with all of that. My issue, and I feel like I'm understanding where some of the women are coming from, is it's not that people are transitioning. I'm speaking from my perspective. It's not that they're transitioning. It's that I've now transitioned into your spot, and I'm going to tell you how to do what you've been doing.
Mm.
I don't agree with like the assigned sex at birth. That phrase pisses me off. You're not assigned shit, bitch. I was born. The temperature was right in the coochie, and like I'm a boy. Ooh. But like, I don't want to change all these terms. Men and women both have breasts. It's still breastfeeding. You just lactate. Or this whole men can have babies too. No. Women have babies. But there are people who have, there's a whole couple that transition. The girl is the boy is the girl, niggas is pregnant. It's weird. Like, it's too much. It's too
Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that.
Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. Let me read this super chat real quick. Is it up? There you go. John the Baptist with the $5 super chat. John was popping. Hint. Women have been trying to compete with men for several decades. Feminist movement, women transitioning to men just stay focused. Word, John. Appreciate that. You know what I mean? Please hit that like button. One of the moderators, please let me know where the likes is at. I feel like we need to get them up. You know what I'm saying? But this is an interesting conversation, man. I fuck with y'all, man. Y'all doing a hell of a job. Even though I'm doing a lot of antagonizing, y'all fighting back like
always.
Shit like that. Shit like that.
Good
Shit like
God
that.
Almighty.
Shit like that.
Now, did you see y'all throwing me off with the trans nigga was so aggressive. Like, I mean, shit, y'all matching that fire. I mean, like how y'all treated Big Al yesterday, Isha.
Cut it out. We were just very passionate.
Here you go.
That man was angry.
That
first video. That was an angry man.
I hope they put a breathalyzer in your car, man. When
So
you get soft, you start acting up.
The trans guy was acting like a female, so he was showing big bitch energy. So Big Al was acting like a female too, showing big bitch energy. That's all.
Damn.
Wow.
BBE, Big Al.
Wow.
Damn, man, oh man. Hey P, you said some shit when B was talking. I don't know what the fuck you tried to say, but I'm gonna let this slide.
I said nothing. I said he sees everybody, he loves everybody for who they are. He said yes.
And I said
Mary.
Oh man. All right. So this is the question I really wanted to ask. Because this is when I kept saying come to the front of the congregation. You know that this movement was overwhelmingly supported by Black women. We having these issues, right? Did women bring the burden of the trans agenda on themselves? Did women bring the burden of the trans agenda on themselves? Because I'm gonna use right now this conversation. Q was very pointed. She said what she said. She wasn't subscribing to all the shit. Wow, a lot of the other women on the panel were making sure to subscribe for the sake of a conversation, or to subscribe out of respect, or to subscribe because that's the way of the world now. And there's people that said they got 1 million gay friends and this, that, and the third, and do as you will and live in your own truth and shit like that.
Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that.
Did women bring the burden of the trans agenda on themselves?
yes, absolutely.
You want answers. I want the truth.
All right.
Absolutely. Women are soft, women are emotional. They I think our biggest problem, and I'm not gonna say me because I don't give a fuck, but I feel like as women, the biggest problem is trying to level the playing fields for everybody. Because we as women kind of know what it took to get where we're at, just to be who we are and
Mhm.
be accepted. So I think a lot of that comes from just knowing what we went through and trying to, help people go through what they go through. Because women support any and everything nowadays. And that's an issue now. If it was, like men, like y'all not going for that shit, so y'all don't even pay no mind to that shit. Even if there was, some kind of attack, it would just, y'all got y'all shit that y'all could say and do based off of being men. But it's just we have become so acceptant of everybody, and that has definitely become a problem.
Okay.
Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit
Isha,
like that.
what say you?
I am one. If somebody want me to call them a she, I'm gonna call them a she, her, they, whatever they want to be called, because it's a respect thing. This, to me, it is. But I really don't believe that women brought this burden on themselves. I don't think we went into it thinking that, okay, if I accept them for who they want to be, I'm going to lose everything that belongs to me.
Okay. So you went into it blindly?
Listen, I wasn't protesting. I wasn't at no pride parade or anything like that. Parade. I didn't go into anything. It's just, it is what it is. If she want to be she, then she's she.
But do you think that all of you guys are suffering consequences?
I mean, we are suffering consequences, but I don't think it's because of us, though.
What happened? Well, did you guys fight back when they took the silhouette of the woman off the Always pack?
I think no, we did not.
Y'all don't like. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I think we dropped the ball there. We don't fight back. Then I guess so, him. I guess so. We do not fight back. It's like, okay, whatever. It's
Damn, man. Anybody else? Love?
Oh, I can talk now?
Wait,
My
hold on
turn?
one second. Give me 1 second before you go. All right, go ahead and start talking. I got you.
I don't even see the time. That's what you get. So,
Oop.
So we not intentionally brought this on ourselves, right? So we are, like Black people as a whole, are very welcoming people. We are a welcoming group of people, and we want to be all inclusive. That's just the innate love that we have. And so we saw the discrimination and the hate crimes and all that. And so did we welcome them and saying, if you want to be a woman, then be a woman? Did we think that the men that were transitioning would turn on us and try to snatch what was naturally womanhood from us? Of course. I mean, we didn't see that coming. And I'm talking collectively, as a whole. We didn't see it coming. But I guess that's the risk you take when you bring outsiders in and on your side. That's just the risk you take. Again, I don't, because I'm old school. I really am. If I see a woman, screw you. If I see a woman, I'm gonna say she and her. I'm definitely not calling one person they, because that's so confusing to me. I don't understand that. I just grew up in a different era. I will call names just because again, if I'm talking to someone, I want the message to be delivered and not stopped or held up by a freaking pronoun. My words are very important. I ain't got time to be held up on pronouns. So let's just talk. Billy or Susan, this is what we need to talk about. And we're gonna keep it pushing.
So that's it.
What'd you say, Mary?
So that's a yes.
Yeah, we did.
I just just kind of back on that thing though, because let's say you mess up somebody's pronoun, right, unintentionally, right, and so they ask you to fix their pronoun. right? And it's they. You're saying you're not going to do it.
I'm going to have a real conversation and say that's hard for me to do. I'll just call you by your name.
But here's the thing. But
I'm literally going to say that, Ham.
I'm not saying you won't. I'm saying people are going to, right? Because they want to be respected. They want to be recognized for who they identify as. So they is not going to allow you. They're not going to say, "Oh, my name is John and Bob." They're going to say, "My name is they." Or that's how I identify. You don't know me. We don't have a personal relationship. Or not my name, but they're going to say my pronoun is they. So you know what I mean? And they're going to want you to address them as such. Are you saying you're just not going to do it?
I'm not. I literally can't say they to one person. That goes against my English literature teaching. I can't do it. I'm not going to call a singular person they or them. I'm not.
Question. Now, question. Question. Is disrespectful? Yes. Now, question. But you will call a girl a boy.
And I said this before a long time ago. If I see a girl, I'm gonna slip up. If I let my walls down, I'm gonna see if I see a girl, I'm gonna use a female pronoun. Yes, on accident, because again, that's what I see, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful. And I know, like they just said, that's disrespectful. And I'm gonna tell them that I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but be patient with me. You cannot make me change overnight, and it's not all about you all the time. That's my frustration with that agenda. It's not about you all the time.
But answer my question. But you won't call a person they, but you will call a girl a boy.
No, I'm not. No, I sat there and said.
No, you didn't. See, now
I did. I literally said there's no, Hamp. I literally said in the relaxed conversation, I'm going to say what I see. If I see a girl, I'm going to say a girl pronoun. If I see a man, I'm going to see a male pronoun. It's going to be relaxed in the conversation. So no, if you sit there and say, call me a girl, but I'm a boy.
Live and walk in your truth. Fuck him. He's trying to trip you up. Live and walk in your truth. Yes, you will call a boy a girl.
I wouldn't, because I haven't. I won't do that.
But you're saying
wait. Let her land. No, because we heard what you said. Go ahead, Mary. Go ahead.
If you're saying that if you see a man, you're gonna say he. If you see a female, you're gonna say she. Okay, so that man looks like a girl, so you're gonna call him a she because that's what she looked like, correct?
If what I see is what I say, yes.
Okay, so that answers the question. He said, would you call a man a girl?
If I see a girl, I'm gonna say girl.
Okay, that's the point.
Okay. Boom.
Okay, and you're not.
But what if they say that? What if they say, but I want to be a they? Because I've had that happen, and I was like, damn, I had to say it.
And
I had to say it. I said it's gonna be hard for me, but okay. Now it may take me a while, but I'm still gonna respect. You said not at all.
I'm not.
I am a woman.
Because
my pronouns are she.
What, Pierre?
My pronouns are she and hers.
Okay.
And you're gonna respect me.
I'm gonna keep on calling you Pierre and he and him when I sit there and talk on accident. So pardon me. Don't be offended.
Yeah. I just feel in real life this is how it goes, right? If you say sir or ma'am, right? Let's say you just start, yes, sir. Yeah. Oh, I'm actually I'm a woman. I would like to be referred to as ma'am. Just because you ask somebody to uncover their name, they understand you're trying to avoid using their pronouns. And what will happen is somebody will stand on it to make sure that you call them by their pronoun. They probably won't give you their name. We've seen several videos like that in the Mickey D, so on and so forth. People push it like that, right? Because they want you to respect them and use their pronoun. So in that situation, in a hypothetical that can be very real, especially given where you live, are you going to concede and use the pronoun? That's all I'm asking.
No. So Ham.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Role play. If you sit there and say it, I'm like, yes, sir. Because I say yes, sir to you a lot. Yes, sir. You be like, no, I'm a ma'am. I'm like, well, listen, I'm not gonna be able to call you ma'am. I see a he, and I know you have this agenda. But what I'm telling you right now, I'm old school. I've been doing this for a long time. I'm probably gonna sit there and call you a he and him if we're talking, get relaxed in our conversation. Right. So if you want me to be patient with you, be patient with me. I have had those conversations.
Well, the patience wouldn't matter. You old school. You're not gonna change it regardless.
Okay, we're gonna get this conversation along. I agree with you. I hear what you're saying, and I'm trying to get them to hear me and hear my message. Yes, I agree. Patience. I ain't changing. You gotta tell people what they want to hear sometimes.
Put him in the fucking
Kevin C with the $5 super chat. It's more difficult for biological females to transition into manhood, fulfilling 100% duties and responsibilities that define manhood. It is not easy to fall into. Kev, get Kev real quick. Oh shit, it's up. Yeah, Kevin 3905. Kev was popping.
Bring it up, Hamp. Bring it up. Bring it up.
My bad. I gotta get a new computer, I think. Is it up?
Yes, it's up.
My bad, Kev. Women were their allies and friends. They learned behavior from women's inner circle. Thought it was cute. Now it's a problem.
That could be true. Okay.
John the Baptist with the $5 super chat. If you play in a house that is on fire, you will get burnt crispy.
Quick question for the men on the panel.
Hold on.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
True Impact with the $5 super chat. Black men were showing excitement for lesbian women at a time.
Go there. Thank you, True Impact. I was about to go there. Okay.
No Cupcake Zone podcast with the $2 super chat. How ironic! 2 exclamation points. Love is quick to call a man a bitch.
Wow. I've actually showed restraint, and I didn't call you one, or those that shall not be named. I didn't call him one either. I wanted to, and I said I was going to, but I stopped myself because I have restraint. If you acting like one, I'm gonna call you one. Like if you look like a man, act like a man, I'm gonna call you a man. If you look and act like a B, I'm gonna call you a B. So anyway, what I was gonna say was,
hold on now.
On the panel.
Hold on now. I can't. I'm not letting none of your bullshit slide today. I'm sorry.
I can even land today, but you're gonna sit there. It's hilarious.
I'm just saying, the shit is a little boring. That's all I'm saying.
No, you're boring. You say the same crap. You got a script, nigga. You know what? Let me stop. Let me be soft.
Yeah, stop, because you're gonna get your feelings hurt talking to me crazy.
No, I don't have feelings. Now what?
Now
I'm just fine. I do have feelings. Stop it.
All right, go ahead. What was you about to say?
So for the men on the panel, have you met studs or doms and you are friendly with them?
Yeah.
And or not, maybe not you personally, but you know of them, right? You know the
Yeah.
studs.
No, yeah.
Okay. And you're like, oh my God, what's that? Oh, that was Ish. Okay.
That's a booty call. She still got ringtones. Now that's old school.
Yeah, booty call. Yes, Ish with the booty call. Big puss, big gun. Anyway, sorry. I've been drinking, y'all. Sorry. So when you've allowed them into your friend groups, the doms and the studs and whatnot, because I see that a lot. I see a lot of male groups with the doms and the studs and whatnot. And so you've allowed them into your friend groups. Do you see them trying to emulate, in your opinions, emulate the behaviors of men?
Yeah. Easy answer, I guess.
Okay. And so when you see them trying to emulate those behaviors, do you stop them? Let it ride. You let it ride?
What you gonna do?
I'm asking. So the answer is you let it ride.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you're inclusive, like us females are and have been, of the transgender women. I'm trying to say it the right way. Transgender women. You are inclusive of them as we were of them. Why is it that, from a male's perspective, do you believe that the women are more embraced and not fought against on the opposite side?
Huh? What the fuck? What's the question? Yeah, you think because we not treating women who dress like men poorly? Like, I mean, I don't even know what you're. There's no impact to us. Alex said it, so you guys can hear it.
Can I savor a little bit?
Go ahead.
She been drinking. You drinking that 40 ounce for real though. But no. I think what you're trying to say is, and you're only responding to Kevin, but you're using him to answer question so that you can address Kevin. And what you're basically trying to prove is that the same way that women have allowed men to infiltrate, is that correct? Men have done
exactly.
So Kevin,
okay.
Kevin really wasn't making a point. So put Kevin
Okay.
in the bathroom.
All right. Well, okay.
Thank you.
I understand that. Okay, it's wrong. Okay, yeah. So that's not the same. I think Mr. Britt just cleared it up. Mr. Britt with $2 super chat, but they don't identify as men, love. Right. So it's not. I mean, that is probably like the key point. You guys are fighting over You guys are fighting over periods now. You can't have women on your boxes of tampons anymore. You got breastfeeding to chest feeding, right, Alex? Is that what it's called? Who told me that? Like you can't win in the 200 freestyle because it's a 6'4" white boy swimming against y'all. I mean, those things have to matter, and I know, you know, like Q said, our sport's super duper important. If you have daughters,
but yeah, let me say this. I don't think Mr. Britt was making a point either, though. Like,
that's a good ass point.
No, because if he was talking about lesbian women not identifying as men when they're in those circles, the topic is about trans, and Kevin was talking about trans coming in, right? Because gay men hang around women the same as studs and lesbians do, and they still pick up those mannerisms and stuff like that, or try to reenact it the best that they can. So I think we have to be clear that all that is different shit.
Different shit for sure.
Gay men and lesbian women will be in the same class, and trans men and trans women will be in the same class.
Yeah,
so Kevin was talking about trans. Mr. Britt came in and was probably talking about stud or lesbian women. So he really didn't make a point.
Well, he was saying he addressed it to Asia because she was saying we let studs into our circles.
But she drunk. She was using a bad example.
well, hold on. Look, you can't come.
He knew that. Everybody know that. Everybody watching knows that.
But he can't come.
You got to sneak it in too. Like
Shit like that. Shit like that.
I'm going viral. I'm about to make this point. No, nigga, you still not making a point.
But he did, based on what the drunk nigga said, it was a good point though. Jesus Christ. Go ahead, Nate. You got something?
No, I was just laughing. I was like, that's exactly why I ain't drinking no goddamn wine tonight. Hell no. I know. I'll have some juice.
Damn. Hey, do you think? Well, Pete. Well, yeah, Pete. What you think? Do you think women brought this burden, this fight on themselves?
I don't fucking know. Shit. I think society. I don't even think it's women. I think society brought it on themselves because everybody's so fucking passive. Everybody's so permissive.
Shit like that. Shit like that.
You
Shit
can
like
do
that.
whatever you want. And maybe it is women, right? Yes, get the water sweet. Right here in the throat. But yeah, no. I can't say it's women. I don't identify as one, but I just feel like overall there was nobody to say like, hell nah. Like you can't be doing this. I also think it's petty too. And this might be me speaking from male privilege. Like, I don't care what's on a box of tampons. I don't care what somebody does with their body. It doesn't impact me and what I'm doing. But if you're in a marginalized group, which women are, then I can see where it matters. Does that make sense?
Well, as a man though, P, well, if you're a father or an uncle and you have nieces or daughters, I think that's where, if the agenda affected men, that would be it. Because that locker room that you had to let them into, right? If the babies were in there, and they was with you, right? Like how does that now manifest? Or if Adrian's daughters, you know what I'm saying? Like what, like that? It's a different ball game then. Or no?
Right.
What you think?
No, you're right. But there's also the solution to that is to have the family. I have my families go to the family restroom or the family locker room because dads are going to come with their children. I don't really see dads bring their little girls into the men's locker room, and they shouldn't. I do see moms bring their little boys, but after a certain age, it's like, all right, little boy, you can't be in here with these other women. So,
And to the point, if we were affected, I just feel like that's probably the key because it's the kids. And I feel like do you guys think that we've hold on, let me read this. Mr. Britt with the $2 super chat. Q, you bugging. The black gay man is the most copied.
Now, Mr. Britt sound like he drunk.
That don't even make sense. What?
Oh, Mr. Britt. Clarify.
Yeah, I usually back what he said, but that don't make no sense.
The most copied, the most hated, never duplicated.
We love y'all, but what?
I want to ask though, with all this, do as thou will, because I feel like the majority of the panel has been a proponent of that in some way, shape, or form. Have we forgotten about the kids with all this?
What, trans kids?
No, have we forgotten about the kids? How kids are affected by what, Nick?
I've heard of trans kids.
No, I'm not saying they didn't know whatever that doesn't exist. I'm just saying
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
I identify as 5.
Somebody told Mr. Britt he wasted $2 on that super chat. Stacks told him he wasted $2. But with real shit though, like what P said, we so passive and all that. Pedophilia was mentioned because when you open that door in that box, what comes through it? Who knows? I think was Q's point. So, but then I say, have we forgotten about the kids? No, everything is on TV. The parades them shits is crazy, my nigga. Like motherfuckers be running down the street butt ass. Have we forgotten about
that Q said though? Sorry.
Huh?
I said it goes.
No, I'm just saying, have we forgotten about the kids? Go ahead, Nate.
I was saying it goes to that agenda that Q is saying, so then it allows for kids to say, "Oh, it's okay." So when kids are starting out young, saying, "You know what? I think I want to be trans," it makes it easy to push the agenda with kids because now they see it being presented to them now. That's why they have them going to pride parades and all the rainbows, and it's fun and all the glitter and. I'm not saying anything negative about it, but I'm saying I think it's just the agenda that's being pushed to make it so that it's more accepted by children. So when children want to come out like that, it's okay. I don't think they're really forgetting about the kids. That's in a sense, it's almost like you're targeting kids in some way.
That's what I was going to say. I don't think they're forgetting about the kids. I think the kids are the main target. That's why you can go into Target and there's a whole section of gay pride stuff just for children. So.
But then I feel like we need to make the distinction in the line, right? Because on one hand, pride parades are not broadcasted on TV. Do parents bring their children to pride shit? Probably, sure, great. But it's no different than watching, for some of the older people on the chat, like Freaknik, these Freaknik videos. Or if you're Jamaican or West Indian, you ask the culture, Pasta 25 through 57. Niggas busting splits and popping coochies off of the roofs of houses, and that's normal in the culture, right? So it's broadcasted. We all know Little Kim lyrics as children, right? Want to rumble with the bee and all the nasty shit. Absolutely. So we can't just say, "Oh, it's the gays that have done this." It's a part of, like, I don't want to negate that you have an obligation as a parent to parent and monitor your child. If you decide to bring your child to these things, that's on you. But I'm not going to say like, "Oh my God, come to the Pride Parade." It's just like St. Patrick's Day. We're not doing that.
So what about the cartoons and stuff that they're targeted towards children, and now I think they're trying to make it more accepted. They want children to accept it more. So when you have gay people on cartoons, I don't remember seeing that much when we were children.
But also gay wasn't accepted as it was when we were children, right? And so then you have the kids that were brought up in the closet, or people who were in the closet, people who didn't make it to adulthood or adolescence because they didn't see anybody like that.
So the agenda is to push acceptance amongst the children.
And that's what Q was saying.
But acceptance is not a bad thing, right? It's the same thing as seeing Black people on TV in prominent positions. Representation matters. We can't just say like, "Oh, there are no gay kids. There are no trans kids." I can't tell you that. I know for myself, in my experience, been gay. Ain't never liked the cooch since I came out of one. So, like, hey, y'all, gotta be transparent, right? But
Love it.
I didn't have, not that I care, like I didn't have a gay role model. I don't want one. I figured this shit out on my own. I had supportive family. I had supportive adults, but it wasn't like I can go get a movie or read a book about somebody that's like me. And so I feel like also we are all tougher. We're all older. We're all adults. Children these days have no coping mechanism whatsoever. People get bullied. Like we used to do horrible shit to each other. And people kill themselves off of a note on Facebook or whatever, on Snapchat. So it's not the same. We are definitely in a different time, and people have to be a little bit more sensitive, whether we agree with it or not. We have to be sensitive and respect that, like, children are dying. People are dying because they're not getting what they need. They're not feeling supported.
You just said something when you said representation matters. That's exactly what it lends to. It's the representation. So when you have more trans people, or just, you know, the gay and lesbian people on TV or in the media, whatever, then that means that the children are like, okay, so it is okay. So these children, a lot of these children are sensitive. So it's like you need that in a sense. Like they need to feel like, okay, I'm being accepted. To your point, we were like, okay, it is what it is. Like, suck it up, get over it. These kids, like, I need to see somebody that looks like me. I need a trans person. I need a gay person, a lesbian person, whatever, on TV. So that's where I think they are factoring the children into that. That's what I was saying. I think that they're not being forgotten about. That's the whole objective.
I think
when you say children, just to clarify, when you say children, what age are you speaking about? Because I don't believe, maybe just my personal opinion, I don't believe a 5 and 6 year old can decide that they want to be a trans person. So like when you guys are referencing children, like without something being forced upon them to even know the difference, because my sons are 11 and 8. They don't know anything about sex. Like, so to decide that you're the wrong sex, like, I don't feel like that's something that like, what age are we talking about? Because I think I feel like anytime before you're in school to actually learn certain things, it's forced upon you in some kind of way.
I was saying, I don't know if you remember, there was like this little boy that transitioned into a little girl. His name is Jazz or something. That was years ago. I want to say he was like 5 or 6 when he started having those feelings and came out with a whole show. His parents heavily supported him. Was he like Indian or white? Something I don't remember.
Yeah, like he's adopted, but I think Indian.
Yeah. So I'm like, it'd be starting young, to be honest. It really does. I don't think there's a certain age, but I've seen it start young.
And to go by
when we went,
you got it. I was gonna say real quick, like if you're looking at stages of development, if we're gonna talk about psychology and all of that, you learn your sex parts by the age of 2. By 3 and 4, you're exploring. Like, oh, what you have doesn't look like what I have. That's the first time. And when you see like, oh, your mom or your dad, boy or girl, y'all don't have the same parts. It's a natural thing to learn on your own. It's dangerous when that becomes like it's unsupported, or like it's that education is unsupported. I'm not saying have a cartoon about, yeah, you should be trans, but to see that there's a brown person, a white person, a yellow person, sorry, Asian folks, gay people, like all these things, to see it, there's nothing wrong with seeing it.
Yeah, my thing is like, you know, yes, you do learn your parts, but that's what they are. They're your parts. So my thing is like, what's being put in the brain at that point to be like, oh, you know, I'm 5 years old, 4, 5, 6 years old. And even though I've always had this part, it's not supposed to be there. Like there has to be some kind of influence to be like, this is what I learned I have. This is what my mom has. This is what my dad has. But I shouldn't have this. You don't believe there's some kind of influence on that?
I'm sorry, I was looking at the comment. The last part, influence.
Yeah, like you don't believe that some kind of, because like I said, I personally don't believe that at 5 or 6, if you know that you've always had a penis, you know, and this is your parents telling you that's the part that you have, you know, you're a boy, I'm a girl. At what point do people take accountability for having an influence on a 5, 6 year old for him to decide at that point, I'm not supposed to have a penis? Like what's being put in that brain to be like, I'm not supposed to have a penis, I'm supposed to have a vagina?
So we're reducing being trans to body parts at this part of the conversation, right? Trans is not just the body parts. You become transgender, you don't have to actually have a bottom surgery. So there are trans women with dicks. There are trans women with coochies, like vaginas, whatever. It's about, when they say it's a feeling, which is why they probably keep talking about how it feels, it is a feeling for them. They are, in their minds, whatever they're supposed to be. I can't tell you why you like what you like, right? Or why I like what I like. I've always been this way. I'm still a boy. I identify as a man. But what I like and what I love is who I've always been. No outside influence to that. Everybody I know is straight for the most part. So same thing with trans people and trans kids. It's not the body part. It's how they feel. There have been scientific studies of people, their brain sizes. I think there's one, I gotta pull it up, but the brain size of a trans woman is the same, like density and all that makeup as a biological woman. And they're looking at these to see, like, are there any similarities on a deeper level? Don't do that.
Bruh.
Fuck off.
Put him in
It starts really. So you've always felt that way? Like, even we're talking about, like, what, 5, 6 years old, you just felt like, I like men? Or did you
I was
just...
the Pink Power Ranger. I played the mother in House. I was Princess Jasmine.
No trauma happened first, right, Pierre?
No trauma happened
Thank
first.
you. I know.
Like, and again, I don't think that.
Hold on, Pete. Sorry, see, I was chilling. Now, y'all remember when I gave y'all the facts? Y'all good now, or do I need to go in again? I was being relaxed. All right, now, God damn it. Sorry, go ahead, P.
I just wanted to ask a question. Can you ask questions now, Camp? That's all.
But no, I like. Damn, I don't forgot what we was talking about. Even fucked me up. Shit.
That no trauma happening. You knew.
No trauma. I don't think that is everybody's story.
Same sex.
I don't think that's everybody's story. I think there's a great majority of us that I will say are naturally, organically homo.
I agree.
I think there are others who have experimented or have had trauma happen, or for whatever reason they do their thing. I've got lesbian friends from elementary school. Lesbian today, straight tomorrow. Jumped to 2 kids, went back to being a lesbian, dated a trans man, and is now a lesbian again. It always works that way for the women. I've had women jump in and out. Like, in my mind, y'all not gay. You're just doing whatever floats your boat at the time. There are some of us that have always been gay.
Mostly for the. Go ahead, Ham. I'm asking the question in a minute. Go ahead.
Yeah, the statistics actually show, and I gave them a peer-reviewed article that show that the majority of people that are homosexual had some trauma or acknowledged some type of trauma. Also with women, the conversion often happens because of the dealings with men, right? That happens, a decent amount. But I mean, I just gave them an actual article, peer review, something from Vanderbilt, something real, right? And I'm not saying, and then see, let me talk. Now, I didn't say P is wrong, but the majority from somebody who did the due diligence, did the research, right, is what it said, is my point. Does P anecdotal experience not mean anything? No, nobody's saying that. But he didn't prove your point. He proved that that's his experience.
Now, can I talk now?
No, because you're not listening. No, this is what I hate. This is what I hate. This is what I hate.
I heard you. Can I talk?
This is what I hate.
I heard you.
This is what I hate. This is what I hate. No, this is what I hate.
I can't talk.
I was being nice. I articulated that soundly. I was making sure. Let me finish. I was making sure it was eloquent because the Q said they can hear it better. I heard her say that when Alex was talking like a goddamn Neanderthal, but that shit was more eloquent than how I talk. So I said, okay, let me try it. And then you start running your mouth as soon as I'm done with that. I didn't even put the period on it.
It's period. Is it period now? Is it now a period or is it a semicolon? Which one is it?
I want to hear P talk. P, you want to say the ABCs, P? I'd rather hear that than fucking. Damn. So, so Mary, do you think that? Oh, you had something to say for real? Or you just want to argue?
No, I really have something to say to P.
Oh, go ahead. My bad. Go ahead.
And Alex has something to say too before me.
Give me 1 second, Mary, and then Alex. Okay, Alex.
Go ahead.
So, last week, Pierre, you and I basically gave the same exposition, right? You gave your Ando experience, and I gave mine. That, a lot of homosexual men that I am acquainted with and know, because I know more than straight men, did not have sexual trauma or any type of trauma or abuse as children. And Ham provided a Vanderbilt study that tried to prove me wrong and said I was capping, yada, 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 yada. And all I stated was I need to see the demographic profile of the participants and the questions that they asked, because sometimes they can be skewed based upon a propaganda agenda. All I said. And so I agree.
Yeah, you're right. No, you did say
I'm
that.
I'm telling P this though, because he didn't
Yeah,
hear
let
me.
me also, because you left one thing out. P, she also said in the same conversation that she knew of more gay men than straight men.
I do. I'm friends with more gay men than straight men. I am.
So the question that was posed to her was, you know more men that are gay than that are straight. P just sat up here and said he doesn't.
That's his. Okay, that's his.
That's because I like straight people better.
But everybody knows more straight people than gay people. That it's a rhetorical
crazy
question.
statement to make him.
No, like just knowing people, of course you do. That's not crazy. You go to work, you go to school,
and they're
you
gay.
go to the bar, obviously.
You don't live in Atlanta. You don't live in San Diego. You don't live in the Village.
And what?
Like again.
What I'm saying is, P, if you're asking a person that lives in the USA, do they know more gay people or straight people? I feel like that's pretty rhetorical to say you know more straight people. It's not saying you don't know a lot of gay people. That doesn't like.
But if you're more it's very likely to be more familiar with gay people than straight people. It's about your audience. Like, who do you keep yourself around?
So use her. Who is her audience?
Ask the lady. Who's your audience, friend?
Thank you, Pete. Hey, friend. So my audience.
P, that's gay in you. I'm just letting you know that now. That's real gay in you to say that.
Homosexual.
I'm brand. Hello.
He's homosexual. What's your point, Ham? So, as I was saying, I know a lot of homosexual. OMG. I know a lot of homosexual people, and I grew up in the church, and there are seemingly gay men that have confided in me that they have homosexual desires and they have acted out on them and they identify as gay, but they are afraid to announce it. So they live a closeted lifestyle. So I can still consider them gay.
Are you Kojic?
Kojic be gay as hell.
Church of Gays in Christ.
Okay, Church of Gays in Christ. So all I'm saying is, Hampton, thank you for bringing a panelist on here that literally is a part of my tribe that I tried to tell you about last week, and Ham tried to go in on me and discount my experience.
Oh, because you lied.
We're going to wrap that up. All right. We got Alex and Mary.
Wrap that lying ass shit up. Go ahead, Alex.
I was just going back to, we went past this, what Mary was saying, when they were saying with the kids and how early it starts. And just telling the story of literally when we went to find out the gender a couple months ago, found out it was a girl, and they were like, the woman literally said to me, okay, what do you want the pronouns to be? He, him, she, her, they, them. And I looked at, and I remember saying to her, I said, man, what kind of question is that for you to ask me? It's a girl, she has a vagina, it's a she, her. Why are you asking me that since I'm not even here yet? And the woman was just like, I'm sorry, and I apologize for being rude. But she was just like, at this point, we have to be respectful. Some people don't want to put a pronoun. Some people don't want to link their child. And I didn't realize that it started so young. I can only imagine what it's like when they're in elementary school. And then with P giving the points of, by the time they're a certain age, they recognize that, okay, these are my parts. And then when they get to another age, they're recognizing, okay, yours is different than mine. So I feel like it's an agenda. Like it starts, so like my baby's not even here yet. And there's a conversation about that already. And there's no stopping it. And I just feel like, unfortunately, I have to just get with it. Like, all right, this is going to be a normal routine. This is going to be a normal question. And for me, it was such an absurd thing. But to her, she was just like, I have to ask. They're going to ask you again at the hospital. But I was just very, very surprised. And now I'm looking at, when I'm in the stores, I'm looking differently now. Like, dang, It's everywhere. And they're babies. They're little. It's everywhere.
I agree with you, Alex. So, Alex, do you believe, or anyone can answer this, do you believe that there's an agenda for the emasculation of men in America? Do you believe that?
Yep.
Yeah. And I do too. I do believe that. I'm not sure what the end goal is though, but I do believe to me it's very blatant, the emasculation of American society, for the men to be more towards the feminine side, whether in the way they dress, in the way that they express themselves, in the way in which they behave. And it starts younger with the clothes and saying, letting little boys in kindergarten wear dresses. I never thought in a million years that I would see, parents dressing their little boys up in dresses or skirts and whatnot and whatnot. And so I don't know the end goal. I'm not well versed in the goal of it or the finality of the agenda, but I do see it at work though.
I got a quick question. So love is risky.
AKA honey love. Yes.
Do you and some of the other women on this panel at times try to emasculate men on the show?
Never.
Y'all emasculate yourselves. It's sad to watch.
Put them both in the bathroom.
It's sad to watch. That dude came on last week and emasculated himself. At times, Mr. White, you emasculate yourself.
I don't think I do. But I'm just saying, see, it's just a question, right? But it's times when we talk, just because we raise our voice, or you're emotional, or you're sensitive, or you can't control yourself. All of anytime we do manly things, because like if I get into it with hemp, or men, we're louder, we roar sometimes, right? But we get come at for that.
Because sometimes you're more combative with women than y'all are with men.
Because y'all want to come
I said sometimes you're more combative with the women than you are with the men. Think about it. POV, the men come in there to attack us all the time. They come with the smoke.
No, but like the dude,
battle.
Big Al, I didn't really hear him yet raising his voice or nothing. And as soon as he got in there, y'all cutting him off. He a bitch ass nigga this.
That's not true. It's not.
He said, I'm coming with smoke.
That's not what happened. That's not what happened last night.
I only watched the clip. I only watched the clip.
Well, you should have seen how immediately he came in.
That was the whole clip. That was the whole clip, though, eh?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it was.
So let me ask you this: when I'm on this podcast and Q's on the podcast, there are men in the comments that come for us and call us all types of names, call us masculine, and just so degrading and belittling. And you don't think that is a hyper emotional response, and they feel threatened by a woman that is passionate and is with all her faculties and can provide arguments and debate against them, and they get so butthurt. Do you not see that, Adrian?
No, I do. But so for like example, I'll use myself. I don't call y'all names, and y'all call me names.
I've never called you. Have I ever called your name, Adrian? Cut it out. You say
you call me names all the time, and it hurts my feelings.
No, I said no. You said y'all. Adrian, no. Adrian, you said y'all. You said y'all. Have I ever called your name before?
Yeah, once on episode 13.
And what did I call you?
Soft something. I don't even remember. It hurts.
Well, I haven't been on that long, so now you're lying. So I will call you a liar right now. That is
I pulled the B.
Oh, Mr. Britt in the building.
Britt, what's popping?
What's going on?
Hey, shit, how you, man? What made you say drop the link, man? You ain't never told me that before.
So I feel that, you know what I'm saying, they ain't properly captured what I was trying to say, right?
Okay.
My little chat. So
shit like that.
The point I was trying to make, Q, so you understand where I'm coming from, all right? Black women tend to have gay male friends, like y'all said, right? So I feel that by doing that, it empowered the whole trans movement because they felt empowered by the gay men. Because all that, yes, and all that you know what they say. You know the connection there. You know what I'm saying? You know the lingo, you know everything. And when I say they copy, that's what they copy. They copy their style. Like everything that gay men do, black women kind of adopt that and kind of use it amongst themselves. So it gave them that extra juice to feel like they can go and do whatever they need to do, right? On the other hand, that doesn't exist amongst straight men and studs, lesbians, whatever. We're not looking for any type of juice from y'all. You see what I'm saying? We're not looking for that. Y'all come to us for that juice to get that extra edge on whatever it is that y'all do. You see what I'm saying? That's all I had on that. I just wanted to clear that up though.
So you're
Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that.
What you got, Q?
Go ahead, Q. My bad. I'm just laughing.
You're saying that women copy the style and mannerisms of gay men?
Stop right there. Black women and black gay men, they got that little connection. I'm not talking about, when I talk people, I'm talking my people. So let's clear that up.
Okay. You're saying black women copy the style and mannerisms of black gay men?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
give me an example.
Who do you think created that? Yes, and Queen and talking all that craziness. Y'all didn't come, black women did not come up with that. On God, they did it. P. Let them know, P. I already know you know, P. Let them know. Let them know, P. Let them know, P. Go ahead, P. Let them know.
That's not true.
Actually,
Go ahead.
He's a little correct.
Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that.
So it's
the worst kept secret ever. Y'all tripping.
He's not talking about, and correct me if I'm wrong, but he's not talking about like feminineness. He's not talking about like, oh, girls, da da da. He's literally talking about our lingo, the ballroom culture, as Alex has put in. Like,
yeah, that's what he's saying.
That's us. So yes, all of that.
All right, P, you go. You answer, P. You answer. Let him go.
Okay, what's another example?
Do I need more? I mean,
yeah.
Do I need more? And you act like I'm in touch.
You talking like
I'm in touch. You act like I'm in touch. I just know what I see. You know what I'm saying? I'm 43. I may look like I'm younger, but I'm 43. But I done seen a lot. You know what I'm saying? I done seen different things change, different trends change. And what I peep, that's how I view it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying I'm 100% correct on all things. As a man, I know I make mistakes. I be wrong a lot. You know what I'm saying? I get that. But I'm not about to sit here and let you think that doesn't take place. Because we would never, I like, Q, you cool as fuck. I already know you funny as hell. But look, there would never be anything that I would be like, ooh, I need to do that. There ain't one thing that you would do, I'd be like, damn, I need to do that.
Might be.
That's a real one. All right. I can accept that. It might be one thing.
She did this and then her social media did that and the bag did that. I might have to do that. So you don't be too sure of yourself.
You right.
With everything, right?
You right. I'll give you that.
But what I'm getting from you, Mr. Britt, is that what you stated was something that you've been dying to get off, because it's possible that you heard that somewhere and you wanted to strongly make that point, because when I asked you of other examples, you had nothing to give.
So once again, I'm not immersed in that culture. So I can't really speak on that in great detail. You know what I'm saying? So all I can say is that from the outside looking in, that's what I see.
Is that what you see, or is that what something somebody said?
I mean, that's what I see. That's what I see online. That's why I see, I mean, if I really sat down and thought about it, I'm sure I could come up with some other stuff, but it's not worth my time to do all
But
that.
that's probably what you should have came with, right? Because you hopped up here and you
Hey,
had that
all I know is that you was real
we know how the
zesty. I'm like,
internet
hold
works.
up, man.
But we know how the internet works, right?
Hey.
There's always somebody saying something genius, right? So you came up with that one thing, then you gonna throw
That
your
wasn't
age
no.
out there
That's
talking
not
about you're
original.
40-something years old. But
That's
what does
not
all that mean
original,
if
though.
you got nothing else to back what you saying?
That point ain't original though, Q. I ain't say I magically came up with
And
that
it
shit.
shows. That's what I'm saying. It shows that it isn't
That
original.
ain't no original thought. Niggas been saying this shit for decades.
But
Probably.
that's what I'm saying. So you came on here to say something recycled, thinking you did something big, but you really personally don't have a fucking point. Is my point.
So my point is this: the point was you trying to tell me that y'all would need that we need y'all, that we feeding off of y'all in any type of way. That's not the case, Q. When the discussion came up, when we was talking about stud women, lesbian women, all that, once again, there's at no point would y'all be like clicking up with us, being friends with us, and we biting what y'all got going on. Us copying y'all, whatever y'all do.
But see,
that was the point, though. That was the point. That's the difference. But you trying to make it about something else. You trying to make it about original thought and all this other stuff. It's simple. We aren't biting nobody's style. Men are men. We have our own code. We have our own agendas. We don't care about none of that. Anything else that's going on, we don't care.
Where you niggas
it
get
don't
on
affect
here,
us.
This is where you niggas get on here and y'all start swimming and drowning, because everybody's biting somebody to that point. Ain't nobody out here fucking. I was the first nigga wearing fitteds, and I ain't never copied another nigga. Nigga, you look like 100 fucking rappers.
I do. I look like fucking
like every other nigga
old
with a
ass
mixtape.
Hamp for real.
That shit
If
is
you
not
really wanna talk
original.
about
That's not a man thing.
Hey, like I said, we won't ever look to y'all and be like, oh, well, we need to copy this, or let's take this. They do it this way. That's my point. Men don't borrow, or let's say straight men don't borrow from stud and lesbian women, but straight women would borrow from gay men. That's my point. Simple. Cut and dry.
But you hopped up on here to defend the statement about.
I hopped up on here because I like smoke, Q, for real. It ain't no other reason but that. Like you came with the right energy for me to like, all right, let me find my laptop. Let me get my headset. You came up with that right energy for me.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody else except Chaotic can probably bring me on this board for real. That's it.
Okay, but all right. Respectfully, you was sounding a little bit drunk, and shout out to you for coming on to clarify.
Shout out to you, Q, man. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Keep doing what you're doing. Respect. Respect.
Yeah, man. I like it.
I'm out of here, man. I'm a keyboard assassin. I ain't all in person, man. I'm a little too loud for this.
Hey, man, you did good, though. You did good.
Man. Keyboard assassin right here.
Nigga about to go eat a sandwich.
I know, right? It's turkey and cheese sandwich. He looked hungry.
All right. He did good, though. He came up here, though. He defended his point.
Yeah.
I didn't cut off.
He came up and got a W.
He agreed to everything he said.
And he had one example.
It doesn't matter. He proved his point.
He proved his point, though.
But no, he didn't, though. He had a W, in my opinion, for being able to speak without stuttering and bad internet.
Yeah, he did good with that. But the thing is, though, he didn't allow you to steer what he wanted to say. So so that's good just in terms of like a debate. And then he was able to tap P, and P confirmed what he wanted to say.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Big man saved that ass. Pause.
He said he said good idea, Mr. Brick. Good job. Get on and get off before you get smoked. Good idea. I like that tactic.
You ain't, nigga. Why you acting like you such a threat, nigga? You ain't no real good debater.
I'm talking about from Q's perspective, sir. Don't
Nah,
try to
I'm talking
put
about
me
you,
down like
nigga. You
talking to you,
goddamn
nigga.
it.
Nigga, I'm talking to you. Put me back up there where Q at then. What? I ain't scared of
You
you.
better stop, nigga. You be getting your boost smoke. You and Alex.
Where
I
Alex at?
feel like I'm picking on
Alex
y'all.
alone.
Minding my business.
Mind your own good business.
Kev, Mr. Kev, what's popping?
Hello to you, sir, Mr. DJ Hemp, and then to all the folks on the panel. Hello to everybody.
Yes,
I
sir.
have, what do you call it? I don't have any smoke, but I do have 2 comments, and then
Good.
that might lead into questions. And you know, you guys can relate to me the gravity of what you think this this may or may not be. And I'll be honest with you. For me, heterosexual man, married, and I mostly hang out with obviously heterosexual men and other married couples, and this is not really my wheelhouse. So my only concern about it is where it intersects. Where LBGT and it intersects with what it is we're doing as it relates to men. And you guys mentioned it. Maybe you might have. I missed some of the stuff, so you might have said it in passing or reference. So I'll go ahead and get to it. And so you have people who transition from male to female, and then they're interacting with men who are presumably heterosexual, right? And they may or may not know. I look at it like this, and men have this conversation when we kind of talk about it. We don't talk about it too much, but it does come up. If you're a heterosexual man and then you don't know that you're interacting with somebody who's transitioned, do you guys think, or and this is a question for anybody, that at the very least they owe that information to men who they presume to be heterosexual that they're interacting with? Now, not in passing or not just business or something like that, but interpersonal, possibly romantic relationship.
Of
Do
course.
you think they owe us that information?
First thing you
Or do they
should
owe that
say.
to the man that they're interacting with?
It should be the first thing they should say.
Okay. And the reason I'm asking is that initially, when this kind of started to come about, that it wasn't as upfront. I think people are being more forward and open with it because it's more of a there's no real reason not to do it. But I've also heard, and I don't ask me the examples. I just can remember seeing it in passing as as these topics are broached. That I remember one person who transitioned said they don't owe that information to anybody. And my disagreement was, well, yeah, if you're interacting in an interpersonal, relationship, yeah, then you do to some extent. Now, not up right up front, or outside of business or something to that effect, or passing. But if you're interacting in some kind of interpersonal way, it makes sense. And you guys generally agree with that?
Yes.
Yeah. And this was a issue, like not now so much, but 20 years earlier and before. 20 years and before, because I remember this from the Steve Harvey show. There was an incident, well, not an incident, but how Steve Harvey would do his strawberry letters. Somebody called in and said, "Hey, look, I'm transitioned from male to female, married to this man who doesn't know," and the dude was expecting to produce children. And they were kind of laughing about it then. I didn't think it was funny. I was like, well, why wouldn't you just tell the guy from the beginning? But if you remember, before it became the LBGT movement and all the other stuff and more acceptance, it was the gay rights movement, right? And it was difficult back then to kind of even deal with the subject at that point. But here we are 30 years past that point. So it shouldn't be an issue, but still, I'm seeing like, some stuff pop up that says, they don't have to do that. But if you guys agree to it, then that would be the only point where it would intersect with heterosexual men. So that seems to be, You guys have a comment on that?
Yeah. So there's a schism within our community on this side, right? To take the T out of LGBT or whatever, because trans people don't identify as gay or lesbian. When they transition, they are in the full mindset, I am now a woman. And so whoever dates me, like, they're getting a woman. And I'll say some guys, I don't know the number, but the guys that are typically attracted to trans women don't see themselves as gay either. They will say that they're straight. And so it's a detachment from what you and I would say, like gay or straight. If you tell me you mess with a trans person, I'm gonna say you're gay. But they don't identify that way. Like Caitlyn, Bruce Jenner, whoever dates women. And so technically, like, we see her as a lesbian, but she's a boy in real life, if that makes sense. I do think that you should disclose, though.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Again, not my wheelhouse, so I don't get too much into the identification, what it is they call themselves and how they classify sexually. But it's just let the guys know the information. And I didn't think about this was an issue initially, but if you're a young man coming up today, and then you're looking for a family and all the other stuff, then you really need to know that information. And then the other thing too is, okay, as it relates to children, so there's controversy, and I actually saw a recent congressional hearing on this. There was a young lady that transitioned she went from female to male, which means she had to have some stuff removed, and then then they become whatever it is they become, and then the decision was made. You know what? This was not good for me, and the reason was that there was a lot of emphasis on it when this person was underage, and then this person became of age, legal adult age, and decided this was not the way I wanted to go. So then that person went through the detransition process and transitioned back to female. But now, there are certain things that happen physiologically that, have made some, permanent changes. So that was a testimony there. So my only thing is, if that's the issue, then shouldn't it be, and shouldn't it be like, you shouldn't make the decision until you're at least of legal adult age, so you can do it on your own? Or what do you guys think about that?
Yeah. Gender confirming surgery, you should definitely wait till a person is fully developed. I'm not a proponent, but if it was put into law or some type of something, I would say after 25, because it's proven scientifically that your brain is fully developed after 25. So at the very least, if it had to be a thing, let's make sure that person is rounded enough in their own mind to make a real decision.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, because like this is an issue like right now today. I just saw that congressional hearing where that young person testified to, look, somehow they got caught up in the whole business of what's going on, and their parents actually agreed to it. That's the other thing too. Their parents agreed to it, but they were pressured into it by sociologists, psychologists, behavioral specialists. And if you put an age limit on it, like this is the minimum age, and that's what I thought it was anyway. There's a show that was on TLC, which is very interesting. I don't know if you guys know about the person named, it was a woman named Jazz something.
Yeah, I just said that.
Okay,
earlier.
yeah, and I thought that was pretty interesting, because that's the only thing I really watch is like stuff on TLC. So whatever comes on is whatever comes on, and I don't think that show is on anymore. But I thought because she waited until 18 to get it done, I thought that was the actual rule or the law. Turns out that wasn't the case at all. So
just like with anything, you can get a tattoo with your parents' consent. So I mean that's I think that's superficial. Maybe
okay, yeah, you can get married underage with your parents' consent. Depending on the laws in the state. Okay, yeah.
You have that, but the parents don't know which way is up. Go ahead, Alex.
Yeah. So no, I just wanted to comment on that because I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm good.
I
just
wanted to comment on that because that seemed like it got missed in the conversation.
Hey, Reese, welcome to the panel. What's popping? You got a question, comment? Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, I've been sending chats,
What's popping?
Yeah, I just been in the chat this whole time, but yeah, my point is, I think Love made an incredibly good point. The way, because she kind of exposed y'all niggas. She really exposed y'all niggas. Because a lot of y'all niggas, I live in New York, so I see this a lot. A lot of y'all niggas be having these studs and these dykes in y'all circles, in y'all friend groups. I go to the club with them, try to pick up girls with them. So y'all niggas, y'all just as complicit as these females, because y'all condone it. I condone this whole LGBT movement, and y'all always want to try to put it on the women. No, y'all do the same thing. I do the same thing because you have them in your friend groups and in your circles. So if you have them in your circles, that means you condone it. And like, come on, like I feel like they're just as like studs and trans men. They're just as a detriment to the community as trans women are, because everything affects everything. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's an island.
Are you saying where you live at, you niggas be hanging out with the studs and y'all go to the club together?
No, not me, but I know niggas that do that. I know niggas that got studs.
That's the weird thing, though. That's the weird thing, Reese. You only know niggas that do that. Why do you know them niggas? You don't hang out with them niggas? You just be watching them niggas? You Facebook friends with them niggas? Or like how do you just know them niggas?
Because I'm around them. I know them. Like I know them.
You
They have
around them. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm getting at? You around them niggas, huh? But when they ready to go to the club, you just don't go.
No, but I don't have personal lesbian best friends. I don't have that.
Saying, I don't like, because that energy, you got the wrong energy for the right nigga. So you said y'all niggas doing X, Y, and Z, but you wasn't talking to us. You just talking about generally like niggas be doing that type of shit.
I'm just talking about in general. I'm talking about in general.
All right. Let me apologize. I'm sorry, Reese. You my man.
I'm not talking about you specifically. I'm not trying to say you specifically. I'm saying in general, niggas in the hood be having studs best friends. Like they be hanging out with them and everything. Like, so we can't act like just women are just out here just having gay best friends and hey yes bitch. No, they not just doing. We doing the same shit on the opposite end.
You preach it, Reese. You preach
we
it.
doing the same shit. We doing the same shit on the opposite end. So we can't just act like it's one sided. No, both of us are complicit in the same degenerate culture. Both sides are complicit.
So, Mr. Reese, I do have a question for that, sir. Is that like a subset of men who do that particularly, or is that general, or
I think it's a good portion of the urban black community, male community. A good portion of us have lesbian friends. A good portion of us.
And Reese, you saying that perpetuates the same issues?
Of course it does. Of course it does, because you know what it does? It breeds competition. Because it's not about you. It's not about you taking their style or biting from them. They're sharing your same pool of women. They're sharing your same pool. So that means that they're the same woman that you're trying to get. They're trying to get. And a lot of times they're more successful than you. A lot of times. So we can't deny that.
And so Reese, because you think women are that fluid, like they could like a girl or a boy in any given day?
Come on, is that a question, Ham? Is that really a question? Is that really a question? Come on now.
Shit like that.
You know damn well. If young M.A. pulled it right now to your girl's house, you're not saying she'll go off with young M.A.? She got a Bugatti and a chain and shit.
Reese,
Shit like that.
And you on that point. However, do those women end up going back to men?
A lot of them do.
So
but that's my point. That is my point. They share the same pool of women as straight men do. So that's a problem. That's a problem.
I agree with that. But what I'm saying is that after the woman, she's fluid. I was feeling this other girl. She had the style. She had the whatever it is. Do those women typically go back to heterosexual males, or do they just be like, you know what? I'm open to all women now? Because I think a lot of them switch back and forth, because I'm sure Q can attest to this. There's a lot of straight women that's never been with a woman before, and now they're with a dyke, or they're with a stud. I'm sure Q can attest to that. She probably knows that.
I
to that point, I'm asking. Let me ask this: when they go back and they decide I'm going to be dealing with women now, is it that they fetishize women? Do you really want a man though? And that's where I
feel like a lot of studs are caricatures. They're caricatures of black men. So if they could just deal with a stud and not deal with an actual man, it's kind of easier for them. You know what I mean? A lot of studs are simps. A lot of them are simps because they have to be. They have to be.
What I'm saying though is that goes and
they don't have dick, so they have to be simps. So a lot of times they find it easier to just go with them.
Let me finish. What I'm saying is that when they decide, okay, I'm playing around now, I'm bleeding food or whatever the case is, do men still feel like in those moments, aside from that, at the end of the day, you're still not a man. You're still coming back to me. That's what I'm asking.
Wait, say that again?
So when women decide, there's a group of men and then there's a stud in the group, and they decide, okay, I'm going to deal with you. I may have had a good time, so now I'm going to open up my pool to other studs, right? But eventually, those women go back to being with men. So I think that's where
that's not 100%. That's not 100% certain. That's not 100% certain. And even if that's true, they're still sharing your same pool of women. Even if it's just for the moment, they're still sharing your same pool of women. Even if they go back to men, they're still sharing your same pool. Get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying, but you just keep talking, so I can't finish what I'm saying. So it's
All
fine.
right, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm done. I'm tired.
So I'm gonna lend. So and actually I'm gonna ask Nay this, but I believe a lot of women that do, go with the studs or the doms. It's because the emotional capacity, the emotional support that a woman can lend. And women have been through the ringer with men and can't find that emotional aptitude or that emotional what's the word, compatibility with men, and so they find that in women, and so they don't necessarily maybe not go back, but they go there initially for the emotional capacity, right?
And a lot of these women already have children already.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Right.
the sad part. A lot of these women that turn lesbian already have children, so they're raising their children in this. They're raising their children in this nonsense.
Right.
Okay, one, I'm gonna answer. I want to answer that. No, I don't go back and forth. And Alex, I'm not Alex. I'm sorry, Love. You are absolutely right. It is for the emotional connection because as Tiffany Haddish said, a lot of my niggas was bitches anyway, and so I got with.
And a lot of y'all niggas a lot of y'all niggas are just studs with beards. To be honest with you, a lot of y'all. That's why y'all got stud friends because you see them as equals to you.
So let me
But that's why a lot of y'all got stud friends.
Let me interject real quick. Reese said a lot of shit, right? And the most powerful shit he said, you niggas glossed over. But I agree with you in these two parts. And it's going to be number one. You said just now, a lot of these niggas is studs with beards. It takes a real man to actually say that about other men.
It's the truth.
I be trying to get that point across. There's a lot of niggas in they soft girl era.
Word up. Word.
To that point about studs being simps, I can't speak for studs because I don't identify as that.
But some studs though. You know some studs.
I could definitely see it. I could definitely.
Some studs. Yeah. So you know straight women that turned gay and that went with a stud before. You know that. I'm sure you do. I'm sure you know straight women that's never been with a woman before and now they're gay. I'm sure you know. I'm sure you know some.
Never been with a woman yet and turned gay.
But you know some though. You know some.
I'm with one, but I don't be
exactly. And you're with one, so come on,
Reese. Let me break it down to you though. The niggas that you talking about be with the gays more than me, so we just have to make that clear. All right, so I can't speak to a lot of that. Respect.
We know a lot of straight women that mess with studs now that never been with a woman before, and now they have the first experience with a woman. Now they're married, they're married to a stud with 3 kids.
But that's
we all know
more like your anecdotal experience than mine is what I'm trying to say. Because I don't be in the mix like that.
Yeah, but you're in the community, so I'm sure you know some females like that.
No, I'm not. That's what I'm telling you.
So the only thing I would say to Reese and what he's saying is that I would put numbers to what it is you're saying.
Hold on, Kev. You said a lot of shit. Hold on, let me land. Because you was doing a lot. Hold on, let me land. And then there was something else that Reese said earlier too about these damn. Yeah, everybody talk so fucking much. But you said something else where you called the niggas out. And these niggas glossed over it. I so wish I remembered what you said.
I think I said a lot of niggas be having stud friends, best friends and shit. And we just always complain about women having gay best friends, but we do the same shit.
No, okay, now I remember.
We do the exact same shit.
You said that studs was competition for men.
Yes, they're competition. And we act like they're not, but they are. Because we be seeing some badass chicks.
That energy comes across in the comments when a lot of the niggas, and you may be one of them, speak in the comments. That energy comes across like women are competition for y'all, which is sad. But the niggas up here earlier tried to defend that there is no competition.
Because a lot of niggas have ego. A lot of niggas have ego and they're in denial. That's why.
And that's what I was saying earlier. They were speaking from an egotistical place. So I'm glad that.
But when we see a stud like Young and May with a badass chick, fat ass, fat tees and everything, we don't want to say anything. And we act like they're not a competition. Yes, they are competitions. Yes, they are.
Q. Well, let me just say this. I fuck way more women than you have.
Don't come at me. Come at him.
Well, but that don't mean anything. Hey, him. That don't mean anything.
What I'm saying is, y'all saying competition. There's enough whores to go around. So I'm not looking at even other.
You're thinking
niggas.
in an abundance mindset.
What? Yeah, exactly.
But
you saying competition, right? I'm just saying that there's women for me.
You don't bring sand to the beach.
There's women for other men. And there's women for studs. Like these,
That's
the women
that's a
out
problem.
here.
That is a problem.
But that's it. But what I'm saying is, y'all acting like it's ego. It's just life. It's
But
just
You're
life.
sharing the same pool of women.
Yeah, no,
You're sharing the same pool of women.
but let me
Yeah,
clarify.
but you know.
Let me clarify. There's niggas like you, and then there's bitch ass niggas like him who can't get chicks, so we would be considered competition for him. And that's women in general who mess with women in
Okay.
any capacity. That's what I'm saying. So
All right. So okay. So Reese is saying. So Reese, you saying the men that are in a soft girl era, they suffering from these consequences of having stud friends, quote unquote, and things of that nature.
I'm saying you can't throw stones when you live in a glass house. You're saying women be having gay, flaming ass gay friends, and they're destroying the community. We're doing the exact same shit on the opposite end. We have these masculine ass dyke friends, and we acting like we're not supporting the LGBT agenda. Yes, we are. When you have them in your circle, you're condoning it. You're sending a message. You're condoning it.
I understand your point.
You?
What'd you say?
That you're speaking about, are they competition to you when it comes to finding a chick?
I'm not saying personally. I'm just saying in general. You don't bring sand to the beach. You don't bring sand to the beach. You have enough sand already.
You going hard though, because what I'm hearing from you is fuck studs. I hate them bitches because they get in my way.
I don't like nobody in the LGBT community. Not gay men, not studs, not lesbians, not nobody.
Because
they all need to go to hell.
Because
why you up here having this conversation?
I'm making a point because I'm making a point how y'all just gloss over what men are doing and you always want to point fingers at women. No, men are doing the exact same thing.
But then you just said that you have friends that hang out with other studs too. So then aren't you guilty by association because they're your friends too?
But I don't hang out with the studs personally though.
But
I just know that they have.
Friends.
I just know in their circles they have some studs in their circles. That's it.
Dude, you know what it sounds like?
But then they're still your friends too. You're still guilty by association. It sounds like you had a girl that you really, really wanted to bag, and a stud came in and copped.
Okay, see, this is the problem. This is ayo. See, this is the problem. Why are you gonna turn into that? I'm making a good conversation. I'm bringing up good examples, and I just turn. Oh, a stud probably took your girl. Why you always jumping to that conclusion?
Because of how you sound, my nigga. Do you hear yourself?
How I sound. So basically, so what are you saying I should sound like? No, accept everybody.
You don't
Everybody's
sound
good. Everybody,
huh? You don't sound confident at all. Cause not him, Mr. White, and I'm pretty sure Kev would never say that a stud woman is their competition. Cause they're
listen to what I said. No. Okay, listen to what I said. I said that they're a competition because they're sharing your same pool of women. I'm not saying specifically me. I'm not. No. I'm not making it personal to me. I'm just saying when they share your same pool of women, they're gonna be a competition by default.
Okay,
just by default.
So what simp energy do you have that you are sharing chicks with simp energy? Because they're saying they don't have that problem. Because in their circle, they got a certain a demographic of women. They got a certain pick of women. You're not in that number, my nigga. So what is going on with you?
See, this is the low IQ. This is the low IQ shit I was talking about. We need some white people on this panel. We need some white people on this panel. We need some white people on this panel. This is the low IQ shit.
White people have high IQs because they're white.
Y'all niggas have these low IQ talking points. Low IQ.
Would you not feel a way if you were dealing with a woman and she decides, you know what, I'm leaving you and I'm about to go be with a woman? Would you not feel a way, but then not hurt your ego as a man? Please sit here and lie.
Wait, you talking to me? You talking to me?
I'm talking to you. Yes or no? Would that not hurt your ego? Yes or no?
It wouldn't hurt any man's ego. Wouldn't hurt any man's ego.
I'm asking about you.
Of course it would. Of course it would.
Okay.
But what's your point? What's your point?
Okay, so to that then, would they not then be your competition then?
I said men in general, they're our competition.
I'm not talking
about just me personally. You're making it personal.
So if this is the case, then why would you have it be a blow to your ego then?
Well, listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. If a woman, listen. Actually, listen. Stop talking. And listen. If I'm the man I need to be, right? If I'm the man I'm supposed to be, why would my woman even think about leaving me for some dyke in some jeans and a fitted hat? Why would she even think about that? If I'm the man I'm supposed to be, why would my woman even think about doing that?
It just is what it is.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. That's why it would be a blow to my ego, because I would think to myself, I'm not the man I was supposed to be. If she could do that.
So Reese, do you have a woman now?
I was just about to ask that.
No, I actually got out of a relationship like last year.
It shows.
And then she probably gonna go
with a
stud.
This is why we need white people on this panel.
We need some white people on this panel. We need some white people on this panel. This is the low IQ shit I'm talking about.
Right. So you said that. So what's your next point?
So he's upset
because only they know how to have good conversations. They know how to have good conversations and good debates and good faith. Not just throw low blow attacks.
Did you guys finish all your points?
We're not saying what you want to hear, so we have low IQs.
Talking all this hatred.
All right.
Because you jump. Oh, maybe a dyke stole your girl, nigga. That has nothing to do with the conversation.
So
this is what I'm actually
saying.
saying.
You have some type of vitriol. You have vitriol for lesbians, clearly, and all gays.
Right.
I said for every. No. This is why you're hearing what you want to hear. I said everybody in the LGBT community. I don't like everybody. Listen to what I'm saying. Actually, listen to what I'm saying. I didn't single out lesbians. I did not single out lesbians. I said everybody. The L's, the G's, the T's, everybody.
You would have heard what I said. Because I definitely just went through everybody. You stopped that lesbian. That's you and your
because that's the point I'm making. No, because I'm only touching what love said. No, I'm only touching. I'm touching on what love said. See, we need some white folks. Y'all niggas too stupid.
All right. Hold on a second. So by default, if women are fluid in their sexuality, then it would be competition if there are studs or lesbians around women by default.
Yes, because you don't bring sand to the beach. You don't bring sand to the beach.
Now,
that's my
point.
I'm not making it personal.
Here's the other point.
I think he's gonna make everything personal.
We don't feel so. There's a caliber of man that doesn't feel that threat because it's not real competition. Like you said, Reese, they don't have penises, so they have to simp by default. I don't care,
but they're winning. A lot of times they're winning.
Okay, that's fair.
Women love simps. Women love simps.
But you know, sex feel better without a condom. So imagine a rubber penis, right? So that's how.
I don't know about that.
But
a lot of women say they can't orgasm.
You
I don't know
about
a
condom, so you know the difference between a condom and.
I'm saying a lot of women say they can't orgasm by just penetration. So I don't know about that.
Just penetration, that's fair, right? But just as a point,
you got to ask the woman that.
Those things are solid. But what Q said is key. The men that are having trouble are threatened, right? So is it safe to say that all men aren't threatened by the stud dynamic?
The problem is a lot of men have an abundance mindset, especially the niggas that get girls. A lot of them are blind to everything. They're just stupid in general.
Well, so what makes them stupid or inept if
because they're living in their own bubble? They're living in a bubble.
But why do they have
girls? And so I'm not affected.
So this is where it gets. This is what happens when you say they're stupid. Now you're gonna get pushback. That's gonna be more personal. That's gonna say, why are those men stupid? Because they're not worrying about the bubble that you have to deal with. Like that's how people. That's how somebody's gonna reply.
So why are we worried about trans issues and trans women? Why are we worried about that?
Well, we're having a conversation, but also we're having a conversation.
We're having a conversation. That's my point. We're having a conversation
about a topic, but also nobody said to use the term.
Why are we talking about anything?
Right?
Why are we talking about anything?
Love?
They don't affect anybody. Why are we talking about anything?
Cisgender women, right, didn't call the trans woman stupid or vice versa because they don't have the same experience. So if you use terminology like that, you're gonna get rebuttals that you don't want because you just want to have a general conversation.
Okay, Hamp. Why don't all of us just live in a bubble? Don't talk about any issues and just be quiet. Why don't we just do that? Why?
Well, no,
why are we on YouTube talking about having conversations like this? Why?
No, what I'm saying
is,
remember how you said the guy who gets a lot of women because he has what was the mindset?
Everybody should just mind their business.
No. What was it, Reese? You said he has a when he gets a lot of women. What was the mindset?
An abundance mindset.
Abundance mindset because he doesn't have that issue. But why call him stupid because he doesn't have that issue?
No, okay. When I said stupid, let me rephrase that. I mean ignorant. A lot of them are ignorant because they get pussy, so then they're not affected by other stuff that happens in the society. Yeah. In the society, about as far as the alphabet community and all that, they're not affected because they get pussy anyway.
Yeah, it's a
so
privilege.
A lot of them don't even care.
Yeah, it's a privilege to it, right?
Exactly. So that's my point. That's my point.
Reese,
because they get pussy,
you're good.
I understand
your point. Listen close. I understand your point, right? But if you want to have an intelligible conversation, you can't say things like them niggas is stupid.
Okay, I use the wrong terminology. I use the wrong terminology.
That's fair. No, I'm just. But you see what I'm saying? Because if you,
I mean, they're ignorant. A lot of them are ignorant. Or they just don't care.
They don't care.
They're jaded. They're jaded.
Yeah. Well, no. I think ignorant is probably better, right? Because they don't know. They don't know what it's like to be fighting for scraps.
Well, that's not. Well, okay. So just because you're not fighting for scraps, does that mean it's not affecting the society that you live in?
I think that people should help other people, but like you said, they don't know how it feels, so that makes them ignorant.
So, but do you think they should be like that though?
I would have to think more through it. I think we all need to do a better job of helping.
Because in my opinion, why don't everybody just mind their business? Don't go on YouTube talking about LGBT stuff. Just let them live their lives. Why are we even on YouTube talking about this stuff? Why don't everybody just mind their business and live their life?
Well, because it crosses over.
So do you.
Yeah, because
so do you. That's why you.
Obviously, y'all saying I don't get pussy. That's why I'm affected by it. So why don't everybody who gets pussy just mind their business? Don't go on YouTube talking about this.
I didn't say you don't get.
Why you having these conversations on YouTube? If y'all all get pussy,
you're joining in. You're joining in the conversation.
Why are you watching it? You're watching it and participating.
Why is anybody having these conversations? All y'all niggas get pussy, so why have these conversations?
Because we have people like you that tune in every week and make comments about this.
All right, so y'all disingenuous. So y'all
come on here, Big Will. Come on here, Big Will.
So y'all disingenuous.
Reese, Will kick you off.
You just knew him?
Nah. Here's the thing. Wait a second. I like how Reese delivering information. I like what he's saying. Some of it could be off.
Yeah, niggas get pussy. Just come on, mind your business, live your life.
But Reese, Will kicked you off for the dub. But if somebody paid, you could definitely come on back up. This only for today.
I know how it works. I be in
my bad. Yeah, you always be here. You show wild love and all that.
He's a POVer.
Yeah, he
always. Yeah, it's all love. We just having conversations.
And Reese he ain't really one sided though. If you read his comments, he be going whatever.
I be going on men and women both.
Because both are complicit. Why I said a lot of the stuff I said when I started speaking, because you did say some real decent shit, but then you went off the deep end and said some dumb shit.
He did.
Black America, what's popping?
Another non-cans person. Okay.
What's going on? I'm pretty high visual person here in Vegas, so yeah, I can't come up because I might say a few things that make you upset. He came on a little bit too hot with all of the dyke and the stud talk. You know what I mean? I'm a straight black male, just like him, Mr. White and Kevin. It's a lot of things that we can't say for fear of retribution. And I understand what you guys are saying, but at the same time, that you guys are no competition as far as when it goes for the women that like other women. You're not competition for men. And it's sad to think like the other guy, he may not be getting a lot of tail. Okay. It seemed like he wasn't getting no ass to me. He's complaining about you guys. But at the same time, bro, I don't like homosexuality either, but I'll let you make it. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm finna run you over in a truck or none of that. But you guys are no competition.
Oh.
For what real men do. Yeah, you can put the strap on and do the little thingity things, but you got and Hemp and Mr. White and Kevin C, they're a little bit more political. They have to be a little bit more nicer. He has to do a show with you guys on a regular basis. So he's gonna not be able to say everything that when he's around guys like me, because I'm a football player too, he's not going to be able to say everything the way he wants to say it and put it in the context in which he wants to say it. So I'll land it right there. You got any questions for me?
Yeah, let me just read the super chat. But yeah, you definitely was clear. Gary asked for the $20 super chat. What up, Hant? What's popping? Bring him back. We just having a spirited conversation. Okay, Reese.
Yeah, see, that's the problem. You see, a lot of niggas, they think they know people. Like, y'all niggas don't know me. Y'all know my sex life. Y'all know nothing about me. So if you didn't even make assumptions, that just shows your IQ. That shows your IQ. We're having a spirited debate, spirited conversation. There's no need to throw low blows and take personal attacks. Like, have the conversation and make talking points. That's it. Don't make it personal. Y'all niggas don't know how to have conversations when I'm making stuff personal.
Bro, you came up here.
Y'all don't know me from Jesus Christ. Like, what the fuck?
For
I'm having a conversation about the topic, and I'm making good points. Listen to the points I'm actually making. The points I'm actually making make sense.
Hey,
hold on, you're allowed to have
Alex, it actually makes sense if you actually listen. Clean the wax
I go now?
Actually listen to what I'm actually saying. It makes sense.
Listen here, little boy.
Okay.
Well, nigga, you the little boy. Fat ass nigga.
Alex.
God.
Damn, Mary.
No. It's too late for this. He's coming on here.
A little hoopty on your profile pic. A little hoopty. The fuck?
We're trying to have a conversation. And you
little hoopty.
Yeah, little hoopty, bitch.
Consistently over talking.
Oh.
You hear points.
Nigga sound like Joanna Man. What the fuck? You a whole bitch.
This is giving low IQ right
You are a trans man. You are a trans man.
Oh, can I say what I'm gonna say now?
Yeah, say what.
Go ahead. Nigga, making it personal this whole time. Like, you know me.
So it's not personal, young man. What I'm saying is you'll never find or run across a man who's more male chauvinistic, male misogynistic than me. Okay, but you come up here on the show calling all of these broads dykes and studs.
Nigga, because that's what they are.
Something.
Nigga, that's what they are.
That's not the way you get a point across, though.
Nigga, are you scared? Are you scared of dykes? You scared of dykes?
No, I'm not scared of anything.
Why the fuck should I?
Will with the 20 ball.
What the fuck is a dyke doing for me?
Taking your girl?
No. But
I gotta tiptoe around the word. Why?
But what it sounds like
Hold on. Will with the 20 ball, man. I can go all night. Take a nap, my boy Reese. Will kicked you back off, man. God,
hold on. Reese, when you come back, show yourself on the camera because you giving the impression you a wheelchair nigga.
It's not hitting.
Go ahead, Black America.
No.
Yeah, my thing is, even if you're having a spirited debate, you don't come and try and browbeat your opponent. You know what I mean? I am a whole lot of things, and I do like to have a conversation, but I'm not going to, even though I don't like women with dreadlocks. And so both of them is already canceled. You know what I mean? I don't like dudes that talk with a list, but I'm not gonna come up here and be talking shit to these people. And this man is just up here talking cash money shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, these women is stopping him from getting tail. You know what I mean? Like the type of and I know you know him and maybe Mr. White and even Kevin. It be bras that be swinging both ways. Like, I can't control that. You know what I mean? And I'm not scared of one of these ladies having sex with one of the ladies that I might be in the pool with. You see what I mean? But he's acting like one of these girls can actually take a broad away from him. And same thing with the young lady. She acts like she can actually do something for a woman that we can do. And that's why I say it's no competition. You can't beat a man running. You can't beat a man arm wrestling. I don't know how much you make, but for the most part, women don't do the jobs we do, truck driving, firefighting, anything like that. You're not getting no bread. It's a huge difference in what men do and what women do. And nobody is wanting to play their position. But my thing was, the only reason I came up is because he was talking super bad to the ladies. So shit like that. That's all I wanted to say.
So who's the young lady that you're referring to? Because I was just curious.
What do you mean? What do you mean? What young lady?
You said, and so does.
I'm saying in general. It's if it was a woman, right, and she had to choose between you Hemp or Mr. White or me, she's going to make that decision. And us as guys, we take L's all the time. You know what? I'm gonna just jump over to Alex and ask her.
God damn it. Respectfully, sir. The latter part of what you said.
Shit like that. Shit like
who
that.
Are you
shit
referring
like that.
to?
Shit like that. Shit like that.
Okay. Would you say that again, love?
The latter part of what you were saying when you were talking about a woman, and even the young lady cannot do X, Y, Z, and does not make this much. Who were you referring to?
I'm talking to in general, most or all women. You don't make as much as men. Once again, you got to realize, I go back to it. I said it in the beginning. I am a male chauvinist, and I know the jobs that we do and versus the jobs that women do, you guys don't make the same amount. Maybe if you're living in a certain area and you may be doing a certain job, but you don't make the same amount as men in general. In general. So that's what I'm saying. You can't just say
it doesn't mean that those women are necessarily living in poverty either in comparison to men, right?
I didn't say in poverty, but it's a whole lot of people in this country living paycheck to paycheck. And we see it every day. We see that Black women are the most evicted in the country, and that doesn't have anything to do with some dude that they got. It doesn't have anything to do with their sexual preference or anything like that. It has to do with the color of their skin and their gender. It says Black women are the most evicted. You know what I mean? In Houston, Black women has an outbreak of syphilis. It doesn't have anything to do with the whites or the Mexicans or anything like that. It has to do with Black and then our women. You see what I mean? So that's what I'm saying in general.
Mm-hmm. And then the Black population of men typically in prison or jail.
I mean, I've been to prison, so if you want to say that, yeah, sure. I mean, but you can't say. But it's just like with the homosexual community. You know, we had Miss Love say that most men are gay. If most men, okay,
really?
Well, I mean, we have what 1.5 million gay people in this country. Like, do you think all of these dudes is around here biting pillows? That's not happening. All of these.
There's different things, sir.
Counting down the ones that are biting them, right?
Listen, all men aren't gay, just like all women aren't gay. It's just like all brothers don't like white girls. It's like a percentage, and it's a small percentage.
I doubt that.
You see what I mean?
I doubt that though, because there's a lot of guys that act very feminine, act very gay. They give off a lot of gay energy. You just cursed them out. Just left the panel.
Let me ask you a question to all you women.
Dude,
do you?
Hey, Black America,
women,
before you read the super chat, I mean, before you ask the question, hold on, I gotta read the super chats real quick, and then Black America, ask your question. All right, Gary S for the $10 super chat, and shout out to the panel. I'm loving this show, real shit. Gary, appreciate you, brethren. Nina Angelina, $2 super chat. Calling people on the panel a bitch is a no-go, sir. Who said bitch?
Reese did.
He caught himself, but yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay. Hey, Black America, go ahead, ask your question.
So she said about feminine men, right? Mm-hmm. So let's look at somebody like Prince. All the women love Prince. We look at somebody like Michael Jackson. All of the women love Michael Jackson. Okay, so you saying about feminine men, like I said, that has never been my problem. Okay, having any kind of thing like that going on. But you guys look at things, men look at what you like. When you women talk about y'all want niggas 6 feet, niggas is getting platform shoes and try to get their knees done. Okay, these niggas is running around trying to grow beards. These niggas is trying to grow beards and all type of stuff because you women say you like that just to try and get some tail. Okay, that's all we really kind of require from you is some tail. Now, if it's good enough and you have the right personality, we will then actually give our life to you. But if not, it's just going to be an ongoing thing. So you talking about men being feminine? Like I don't agree with that. Niggas do whatever they try and do so they can get in where they fit in.
What's your question? What was your question?
Are you the type of woman that liked Michael Jackson and Prince?
No, I like their music, the music that they produced and sang and wrote. That I would not sleep with a Michael Jackson or a Prince. What are you talking about? Is that what you're building your argument on, sir? Because they had a lot of
El DeBarge. El DeBarge. El DeBarge. Let me tell you something. Once again, I'm here in Vegas.
Asking me, you're telling me something.
Wait a minute.
Your question, you telling me something.
I'm gonna tell you something right now. I'm here in Vegas, and you could not stop bras from breathing down El DeBarge's door, Prince's door, Michael Jackson's door. You couldn't stop them. A bunch of women 24 hours a day. You could not stop them. Women love men like that.
But
they do.
Is that the celebrity factor, though? Is that the celebrity factor?
Celebrity factor. Absolutely, Mr. Kev.
And regardless, it's not that you're saying these niggas wasn't fucking niggas. That's what I'm looking for you. I'm waiting for you to say something to that because that's what I was saying.
So I was kind of holding off. So
it could have been fucking bitches and niggas. That's happening a lot too.
Mm-hmm.
So I started off up front saying that I don't know too much about the other side of the LBGT and all the other stuff. Only when it intersects with what's happening with heterosexual men, if it does at all. That being said, I always saw that group or the people who are part of that group as a small percent. So if I had to put a number on, that's why I know Reese got kicked off, but I was going to ask him. He's saying a lot of stuff. And the way he's framing it is as if it's the majority of men and it's a lot, and it doesn't seem like it's really a lot. So I would ask him to put numbers to it, do a bit more research, and actually, get some studies or whatever. Because if you're talking that way, then you have to put numbers to it to give a better perspective. That's the only thing I would say, because the way he's framing it is like, well, most men are this and most men are that. I see other heterosexual, okay, I'm married now, but I see other heterosexual men as my competition, not women, not gay men or anybody else. I'm looking at heterosexual men. Those are my competition. And then, as it crosses racial groups. So I look at heterosexual men and then men, that are white, Hispanic or whatever. Those are my competition. I don't see women as a competition because look, I lift weights, football, basketball, baseball, like the sports. I'm driving trucks, riding motorcycles, doing all this manly stuff. Those guys who are like that are my competition. So I don't really see women doing that, even if you are interested in women. So that's where, that's why I would say I have the advantage, because I'm doing all the manly stuff.
Right. So for example,
that women actually like.
Kevin, so like if you lost Miss Nate to me, you wouldn't feel like you were at a loss.
Oh no, not at all. I don't even. And no offense, I don't see you as the competition. I see other men as my competition, and it crosses racial lines as well.
To the sunset, to the wheels fall off, and it's mad other bitches out here, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna be fine. My competition is with other men, not with women, or not with
We just I ain't talking to a bitch. I'm just saying in general, it's other women out here. But
that's what I said. I always thought that this group was a small percent. So, and I'm not saying you guys aren't important, and I'm not saying you're not a factor. I'm just saying that it doesn't really cross our mind to that extent. Hamp would be my competition, or Mr. White, and then maybe a white man or a Hispanic man that's similar to me. And remember, me being in the military, I was around nothing but dudes who did all the weightlifting, played the sports, drove the trucks, rode the motorcycles, did all the rock climbing. Like, everything was a competition, to include getting the women, by the way.
100%. Go ahead, P.
I was saying for stats, there's only 7.1% of us in the United States that identify as LGBT or whatever. So that's all of us combined. That's not a lot.
Yeah, and that's white
I always thought it was like 10% or so. So that if there's 60% of the men, I automatically discount 10%, because you got the ones who are part of that group, and then the guys who are just basic players who never gonna. They're just they're basic womanizers. I'll add them in that group too. Because they're not looking for relationships. They're just looking for sex.
Yeah, that's white people too, right? That was That's the United States.
Yeah, that's the United States. Everybody.
Okay, yeah. So there you go.
Yeah, yeah. I think that is. I think that is the one thing that you guys say that's pretty flawed. Like most men are gay. It just doesn't make a lot of sense because you forget about Middle America and the South. I mean,
But don't
yeah,
forget, these are people that are saying on this. These are people that are saying in the surveys, yes, I identify as.
Well,
And a
the
lot of
survey-
men do not. But hold on, but a lot of men are living a lie. Just
I
like
know,
get my
but
dick sucked. Okay, never mind.
yeah, no. Well, I wasn't done, right? So, I mean, I'm just saying, though, it's just very. I just think it's problematic. It's disingenuous to say most men are gay. It's just not realistic, and it's very anecdotal. Because again, if you go to in Middle America, you go to the South, there's no displays in Target down here in Texas. I haven't seen one yet with the Pride stuff. But we go ahead, my bad, P.
No, I'm saying it's Texas. Like,
Yeah, well, my point, right? You just not, it's not as rampant and such. Go ahead, I'm done.
We said a lot. I don't know if I said most men, and if we did say most, it was have tendencies as such.
Yeah, tendencies.
And so a lot of men are. And again, what I was saying, I didn't mean to cut you off, but a lot of men. Are you not listening? Is that why you took your AirPods out? I thought you were done talking. That we were having a
I
dialogue.
cannot believe you just said you didn't say that. All right, yeah, I got it. I can't do
Can't
it.
either. I'm gonna go on. It's 12:30.
Yeah,
Child.
man,
Shout out
good.
to everybody.
What I'm saying is, I can land nothing all night tonight. I tried, and I was respectful and whatnot. And ooh, child, you got it.
The lion, I can't do it, man. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend and tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. I can we can have arguments all day, but just blatantly, I can't. Listen, man, hit all the links in the description. You know what I mean? Become a member, become a third cousin at least. It's just $1. You know what I'm saying? Because as we blow up, I'm gonna turn that chat to members only too. So where you can only chat if you're a member, and it's 99 cents. You feel me? Hit the links in the description. The women's POV t-shirt will be out soon. Subscribe to the podcast. Alex puts it out every Monday morning at 5 a.m. Check out the sponsor directioncyop.com for the merch. Check out indeedtees.com/risky for the merch, shit like that. You feel me?
Shit like that. Shit like that.
Follow comedian Q Turner. Follow Love is Risky. Miss Shanae Nicole. Miss Shanae Nicole.
My first and middle name.
Names. There's a bunch of people names. You follow that one. Hey P, I appreciate you coming back. Black America. I think he brought some substance, man. You know what I mean? And I like the fact that he hopped up here, owned who he was, but still felt the need to get at Reese for what he was saying about the women and the men and all that other shit. So, and I think Reese did a good job too. See, we got tight at Reese. Reese still in the back. We got tight at Reese, but when him and I were having that one-on-one, he did open himself up to listen to what I was saying. And then he switched what he said about niggas being dumb because he knew it was the wrong way to articulate it, trying to have a real conversation. So, hey man, don't dismiss everybody. There was some good shit. You know what? Matter of fact, I'm gonna bring Reese. Might be asleep. He just in the back. I'm about to go ahead, love. You got something? Oh, I thought you...
It's fun over here, and Reese is still in the back. He's awake. He's in the private chat, so he's still awake.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring Reese back.
Bullshit.
I'm gonna bring Reese back for the final thoughts.
Yeah,
Listen,
respect.
man.
It's all love. It's all love. We know we just having conversations. You know, that's the only way to build. Have a conversation. Talk about it. Don't just be in the back and be a little hermit. You gotta talk about shit. You know, stuff that's affecting the community. I don't care how much of a manly man you are. Stuff is gonna affect you. No matter if you like it or not, it's gonna affect you. It's gonna affect you.
Final thought yet, Reese? Hold on.
Reese, I'm gonna give you a chance to do your final thought. So you know what I mean? Because hey, man, people
They got all these manly men up here. Manly men.
So Reese, since you're back, you're saying that it affects the community? Can you?
Kev, we
wrapping it up. We're wrapping it up.
I wanted to give Reese a chance to do his final thought because he you know what I mean, he came up and all that. And next time Reese gonna cam up for us. We're gonna get it.
Yeah, next time I will.
You know it, Reese gonna cam up next time, Reese.
I'll came up next time. Yeah, I'm just the situation right now. But yeah, so just everybody, just respect, have good conversations in good faith. Don't throw low blows. Don't make it personal. Just have good conversations in good faith. Be genuine in what you're talking about.
It's not
That's
the
all.
final
That's
thought
all we
yet.
ask. Just be genuine.
Hold on, Reese. Save it for your final thought.
Hold it, not yet.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, to Reese's point though, when you have relationships, like you see, the first thing I do is kick Asia ass when we get up this panel. I gotta bring her down before anything start. But that's my man, 100 grand though. You feel me? Like in real life type shit. You know what I mean?
Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that.
That's why we could do it 4 times a show and don't nothing change. So damn, man, it's been awesome, man. I even acknowledge the chat real quick. I know we gotta go. Mulatto was popping. Mr. Brick cammed up. Appreciate you. Will always coming. You know what I'm saying? Make pause. That sounded crazy. Making sure everything's copacetic. AW in the building. Of course, here for the damn, I always said it wrong. Here for the T in the building. Nina. It was mad people here. Scruggs was here earlier. Tatum here, of course. Rosgill Rowe in the chat. You know what I'm saying? It's the fan, man. You know what I mean? Then we got a couple new people. Op from the Norm 18. Shout out. You know what I mean? If I missed you, I apologize. I'll get you next time. I try my best. YKS, Damon Law.
Shit like that. Shit like that.
I don't really
like
fuck
that.
with
Shit
Jerry
like that.
Springer, but I do like one of his constructs. Obviously, thank you for the super chat as well. Nay. Final thought.
Go ahead.
Nay. Final thought.
Bruh.
Well, I'm a natural born woman. I love it. Reese, as a fellow New Yorker, I don't believe you need more people. You said that you have guy friends with stud friends that's giving guilty by association. And you sound like you were triggered. And you can't talk about being genuine, but you have my kid's name in your vocabulary. Keep my kids out your mouth, sir. Thank you.
Word. Reese.
Well, you raising them in that nonsense. You raising them in that, and that's a shame to you. That's a shame to you. That's why our community is fucked up now. We got these lesbian ass mothers raising children. And they grow up in that shit. And we wonder why they marching in the pride parade. Y'all the first teachers. That's a shame on you. Y'all the first teachers. I need to change that shit.
Word. Kevin C.
Yeah, well, so thanks for letting me up. I actually came up to speak to just if somebody's transitioning or they transitioned, then just I would look for transparency with that, so that way, what do they call it, living in your authentic self or your truth and everything. And then I wanted to focus on and just bring to light and ask questions about the transition for people who are underage or people who are just young adults and how you guys felt about that. So I know that wasn't really the topic, it was about women, but that's actually a part of it, since there's some intersection and cross points on that topic. But thanks for letting me up. Good conversation, and hopefully the women, however you guys come to terms with whatever it is y'all are dealing with the trans folks on this, then hopefully you guys get some resolution to your satisfaction.
Word. Black America. Still there?
All right. Well, thank you for having me. I got something special for Mr. Reese, since he think I'm fat or in a wheelchair. Ain't fat or in a wheelchair, homeboy.
Ew.
50 years old. I'm a old dude. So the problem is, I love the show. I'll be watching you every week, every other day or something, that whenever it come up. So I'm good. Thank you for having me up, bro.
Appreciate you, bro. Word. P.
All right. So the next time somebody calls you uneducated, you just pull out your degrees like this, right? Because what we're not going to do is ever call me stupid or ignorant. Now, what I will leave you with: a hit dog will holler if the gays or the trans have done something to you. I'm sorry, but step your cookies up. Love everybody, and peace.
Word. Love.
This was a great dialogue. It was neat. It's a start of a great dialogue, and I think it started something great. Just understanding where people are coming from, but open mind is needed to do that. I appreciate everyone that came on the panel to speak, and yeah, I'm a woman. I'm a woman. I'm every woman. I'm 100% woman, and there's nothing like us. We are magical. We are beautiful. The earth is birthed through us, and if we start opening it up and allowing people to call themselves and identify as anything, as a slippery slope, but it's a necessary dialogue for all of us to have with transparency and authenticity.
Word. Q.
I want to say shout out to all the guests who came up tonight. Start with Reese. I hope that Reese, you can get around some really strong brothers who can kind of bring you up to your potential. I think you started off by saying some pretty powerful things, but again, the way that you delivered it was off. I think you mean well, but I think you're going through a lot, and I wish you the best with whatever your situation is. And that's not me being funny. I'm not even talking about relationship. It's just you give the kind of energy that you're in a really dark place right now, like as if you would actually hurt somebody or yourself. And I feel like, with that being said, the next time you come on, I will not go back and forth with you, because where you're at right now, you give simp energy. To Kevin, I appreciate your thoughts and your comments. I think they really added to the conversation. To Black America, you were really dope. You definitely gave a perspective from the old school, and stood your ground in what you believe in and your morals and your standards as a man. And I respect that. And to the MVP of guests, I want to say shout out to Mr. Briggs for coming on. When I was giving you some smoke, you stood your ground. You didn't stutter. You stood for what you believed in. And not a lot of people can do that, because they think coming on here is so easy, and it really isn't. So, and final thought with regards to the topic. No matter what you identify as, let's all love each other. There was some hatred spewed on the panel tonight that I really didn't like. I don't condone that shit. And I don't give a fuck what you identify as. We all gotta love each other and respect each other.
Word. Yeah, man, it's a hard thing. It's a hard thing to try to navigate, especially in this world of cancel culture. But your morals and values and your principles, they need to stay intact. Do you need to treat people any type of way? Unless the situation calls for it. But most of the time, I think we can maybe, to Q's point, maybe avoid some of it. But things do need to be addressed, and people need to know where you stand for sure. And things do escalate at times, and when you are addressing things and pushing back, you got to be ready for said escalation too. So you get what you're asking for, no question. But it's not easy. And I just think about my children, day in and day out. And so I'm trying to figure out, like, what should they be exposed to? What do I need to protect them from? So on and so forth. And I'll die before I let something happen to them. But that also includes their minds, not just their physical, So just thinking through it, man. That's why I like to have these conversations, because there's so many perspectives. And I want to do a better job for me of being open to being wrong. I think I've been progressing in that, but still, I think that's how you get real change. You can effectuate, substantive change as well. So I don't know. All this shit is interesting, man. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend, and we out.